Never before have we had greater need to face a complex, rapidly changing world. Think of it a moment.
It is a world in which supersonic speeds are commonplace. It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations.
The book, and I was like, okay, let's like, I don't really care about them, but let's see. And then PKJ just knocked it out of, like, he ramped it up to a point where I'm like, oh, I actually care about a new thing you're sort of doing here, instead of feeling like, oh god, we're doing this again, or oh god, this is your not Mongol, you're not Lex Luthor, you're anything. But aside from that, guys, we were just talking Superman House of L, or what is it? Or no, Adventures of Superman Book of L #1. Pretty dang good one shot, I would say. PKJ is back. He, if you guys remember, he was on Super Sons. He was the writer behind that amazing series, that amazing whatever you like team, or whatever you want to call that, like that line that. Oh, was that Tomasi? PKJ. That's what it was. That's what he did have his Superman run, and those runs were really good. And so, yeah, might be cool. I will admit that it feels like okay, we had Superman, right? Like the movie, like, okay, boom. And we understand you got to do marketing for it. So, that's when they relaunched everything. We had the Summer of Superman special. Then we had Superman and Supergirl. Yeah, and now we're getting another one, which, like, it's good, but I think I'm finally at the point where I'm like, okay, guys, like, let's, yeah, like this, Batman. Oh my god. And then they were doing Spider-Verses, and then they were doing, like, Infinity Comics, and they were doing, yeah, and it was just like, do you guys like Spider-Man? And it's like, not like that. I mean, it's, oh man, okay, speaking of Spider-Man, they can't hear you. Why can't they hear you? At all? That is very interesting. No, that doesn't, I can definitely hear you. Let's see. Say something. Let's see. Well, guys, that's weird. We definitely, like, tested everything. I don't know why none of it wants to come through.
Yeah, no, apparently I'm muted on the chat end.
Oh, wait. Say it again. Say something again.
And now I can't hear you.
That's because I hit the mute button by accident. But I think I solved it. I think you can be heard now.
Can you guys hear me now?
You're coming through on the OBS now. I see the bars going. So
okay.
We're in. Okay, we're back. Don't worry, guys.
We're figuring it out.
You didn't miss much. We were just talking PKJ, new Superman book. It's gotten to the point where we understood why we had that Summer of Superman boom, but now it's at the point of, let's bring it back. And in case you guys didn't hear what Andrew was saying right there, he was saying, let's not get to the point of, like, 2018 Marvel, where there were 90 different, here's your Peter Parker Spider-Man, here's your Spectacular Spider-Man, here's your amazing, and then, like, yeah.
And his Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man,
yeah, they had, dude, okay.
Which only went on for a handful of issues, but.
Yeah, but it's like
Still, it's like so many at once, and obviously, I don't think Book of L is meant to be more than a mini.
I
But
don't think
still,
so
it's
either.
like we got the main Superman, we got Superman Unlimited, which has been solid
Yeah.
so far, and now we have Adventures of Superman Book of L. And it's like, okay, so we've got all these, plus he's in Justice League and in World's Finest,
And he's also got his Absolute series going.
yeah. So
So
can we dial it back a bit?
and like it's gotten to the
I
point.
love Soups, but it's getting a little out
Me
of
too,
hand.
right? Like you and I were super excited that Soups was getting his love. Go watch our Superman Batman episode. We both love the movie. But yeah, it's gotten to the point where it's like getting a little much there, buddy. Like you don't have to wear your Superman PJs to kindergarten, right?
Right, like
as
every day.
yeah, like every day. Sometimes Captain America needs to take a break, if you will. That's
Yeah.
a reference to one of the books we'll be talking about today. But yes,
Yes,
guys,
it is. Yes, it is.
Thursday night, we are back. Foil variant. We are happy to see you. We've actually got, there was a little lull that was going on for a while of kind of like, okay, all the books are coming out, but there's not a lot to talk about.
There wasn't much to talk about, yeah.
But after last week, I think we're hitting a big stride. Lots of stuff to talk about. Big things moving around the board. So tonight, our main 3 books for tonight. Obviously, we've got the Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez Batman reboot, which is Batman #1. Oh my goodness! So of course we're going to talk about that. We also have all new Venom, which has if you've been watching for a long time, you'll know Andrew and
We're
I
a
have
fan
been,
of the book.
yeah, we've been raving about this book, and it obviously just another killer issue, but it also specifically hits something that he and I have been talking about for a while. So there's definitely something to chunk into there. And then we're also going to hit, of course, Amazing Spider-Man, because it's surprising. Like, you're not going to believe
half
this
of it
guy.
is surprisingly good.
Yeah, half of it was actually kind of fun, and it's not the part you would expect. Like, it's genuinely taking me by surprise. But those are our main books for the night. That's all. I don't know. That's all I've got for my intro. What's up with you, Andrew? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, man. I recently did a reread of a couple of my favorite books that were illustrated by Kenneth Rocafort.
Oh yeah.
So I reread. Where is it? I've got them right behind me.
I love
Of course I do,
Rocafort.
because I always do. So I recently reread Velocity, who is the speedster over at Cyberforce for Image, and I reread Madame Mirage as well, which is a just gorgeous book. Paul Dini, Kenneth Rockford. That's a match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned.
Did you ever grab a trade, or pardon me, are they announcing anymore? That cover reminded me of Lady Mechanica. Have they followed up on that? Because I remember you were loving that mini when it was happening. Last
that
year.
mini Devil in the Lake, or whatever it was. Yeah, it was like a 4-part mini. They announced that there's going to be another mini.
Okay.
So Lady Mechanica has had mostly minis, so it goes from one mini to the next,
which I think is kind of
is cool. I think that's a smart way to handle it, especially if it's not like this big mainstream character. Just kind of like test the waters and get a feel for how it's being received by fans,
instead of having to
and they're really good about doing that.
Oh, how do I do 40 straight stories of a monthly comic of that's hard, guys.
Do some fairly in a vacuum stories that, yes, if you know more about the character's backstory from prior books, it adds context, but it's not required reading at all. You can still dive in and enjoy, which is cool. And then on top of that, I wound up I forgot to rebag the Madame Mirage ones, but I rebagged my individual issues for Velocity. So I got these here. And those of you who know that I'm writing Speedster over at the RIPPAVERSE know this is not Zephyr's mom, though maybe indirectly kind of is, because this is actually where I chose his hair from. I did not choose his hair from Wally West. So I've got those, and then I even have the.
It always bugs me, with Velocity. It's always bugged me. I love her design, love her character. Oh, nothing wrong with that. But when Ken draws her on covers, or like pinup shot, not like sexy pinup, but just boom, like a big spread of her or whatever. He always colors her really white, and not in the sense of like white skin, but pale white. So she ends up, when I see her covers and stuff run by my feeds, I'm like, is that the Joker? And it bugs me. And I know it's not. Yeah. And I'm just like, whatever.
I got the first look here, even for Madame Mirage back with Top Cow. So I need to rebag these because these bags are a little older. issue 1 has a Greg Horn cover, which haven't seen him around in a while.
I miss Greg. I like Greg Horn.
He did some great covers back for that original Emma Frost solo.
And for the
Remember that?
2006 She-Hulk series, which was surprisingly good and surprisingly written by Dan Slott.
Look, sometimes writers have
that's
a pocket.
A cool one.
Yeah, this one, it's amazing. I love it. That's Harper right there, and then Madame Mirage. I freaking love this series. It's a mini. I so badly wish there was more, but there isn't. It's just the what, 6 issues, right?
Look, I mean,
five
it's
issues.
probably good because didn't that start or like come out during like what was the year for that? That was like 2019, 2020.
Madame Mirage? No, gosh,
Before that?
Yeah, it was way before that. It was like. It was late 2000s.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was more recent, but that still slots her into that spot that we're kind of just now getting out of, thanks to like the sort of semi-collapse of the MCU, where everything was getting revitalized, everything was getting reboots, everything was getting adapted, and it was just like, do I care about half of these things? Like,
yeah.
When they greenlit like the Ironheart show, that's one of the few that survived all of that, but like that's kind of what we were looking at for a long time, and I'm super glad we're not there anymore.
That is true. True.
But like, yeah, you would have had Madame Mirage like, let's do a reboot, and it's written by fucking pre 2024 Gail Simone, and like it could have been bad. It could have been generationally bad.
I would have been not okay if that had happened. I think I would have been upset.
Man, speaking of comic rereads, I've actually been rereading something too. I randomly picked back up but started a reread of Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run, which I forgot. It's actually very short. It's only about 2 omnibuses long, but it's so dang good. I don't think you've read any of that, have you?
No, there's the gap. So here's the gap for Andrew when it comes to, I might have mentioned this before on the show.
I'm sure.
This is the gap for Andrew of Fantastic Four comics. You ready? Most recent being the new one with my boy Ramos on interiors, right? That just started a couple months ago.
Yeah.
A few months ago. Before that, Johnny Storm's Human Torch solo. Back in the 2000s.
See,
so
it's
been like 20 years.
See, I know that, and the only reason I ever say, whenever you and I talk about this run, I feel like there's a 70% chance I'll always ask you, like, did you read it? Because I forget, and the reason I always ask is because specifically, that's when Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four and like the Future Foundation.
Future Foundation,
like,
yep.
Maybe you checked that part out, and like, that's where, and you're like, nope. I'm like, of course, okay, that would all make sense, but. Man, if I had like $1 million, I would definitely buy you both of those because, dude, it's Hickman. It's Hickman writing Peter and writing like good family, good Scienceville. I don't know. It's a really damn good run. And of course, it has the amazing moment where Johnny sacrifices himself, which is like, it's freaking like Johnny's doing that. Like Mr. Like baby boy, playboy. He's sacrificing himself to go up against the Annihilus like hordes. Holy shit. Like, that's crazy. So. Anyway, good run. You should read it someday. We'll find a way to get it into your hands. But,
I'll get around to reading it, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I've got on deck. Let's see. That's what we have. Before we dive into everything, as always, let's say hello to everybody who showed up in the chat so far. See who's here in the chat so far. That's where I was going with that. Starting with freaking Punk is in the house saying, "Oh, Canada. Hey, man, how you doing?" I always forget you're Canadian. Maybe that's because I view you as like an actual human being. But I always forget you're Canadian. But always happy to have you, buddy. Clone Geek is here. What's up, Clone Geek? Clone Geek says, I have a suspicion that ASM 1000 is going to be a reboot of the Spider-Man. He adds, I just get the sense that Marvel is going to reboot in a year or so with how short-term everything is, or it seems title-wise. Also, Perch's comments. I haven't seen anything about what Perch has had to say on this, but I did see Andrew commented a little, and I actually do have to agree. So, I see what you're saying, Clone Geek, about how sort of short-term a lot of things feel lately, right? You know, lots of miniseries, lots of throwing things at the wall, lots of sort of lost directions, right? Like what exactly is going on with the X-Men after they did From the Ashes? What is going on with Spider-Man after the Zeb Wells run? What's going on with...
I think they just don't know.
They don't... I mean, we're still technically in One World Under Doom right now.
Yeah.
What book was... Oh,
which
no.
I completely forget is the thing, because it feels like it has zero impact on most of the stuff I'm reading.
It doesn't have any impact on jack squat. Like, it's kind of amazing how little... It's worse than Blood Hunt. At least in Blood Hunt,
I forgot that was a thing.
People, at least in the other, like, in a Blood Hunt book, or, like, during Blood Hunt, people would be like, oh, we can't take that route. There are vampires. Like, okay, sure. Now we'll have to go in the sewers. All right, whatever. At least something happened. But here, it's just like, Doom's over there. He's in control now. But anyway, and so it's been the most... It's a very listless moment right now, for sure. I don't think they're going to reboot. Like fully. I think
Marvel doesn't do that.
They don't do that. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
They do soft relaunches of certain titles, but they've been doing that for ages. Right? Where they do it. It's like a soft reset. We're like, okay, here's a soft new status quo. This is what we're like. We literally just had that happen in this newest run of Spider-Man, right?
1,000%. Yeah, that's kind of what they always do.
No different. Yeah, that's no different than what they've been doing for decades now. So,
well, I mean,
Marvel's
not
going to have any. Yeah, Marvel's not going to have any freaking crisis level thing that reboots. I think that's an incorrect use of the term. They're not rebooting. They don't reboot.
And here's the thing. Like, to add to what Andrew just said, like, my evidence comes from they've never done it, and B, they blinked hard the one time they had the chance right on the
one time. Yeah, the one time where it's like, oh, they have a shot here at doing this, and then nope.
If you guys remember, Secret
Wars, lost that game of chicken.
They literally blew up everything, right? Like and then Battle World was the remnants of the multiverse, and then Reed and Black Panther reset the entire universe back to where we are now. I am fully convinced. Okay, so that mini was only supposed to be like 12 issues or like 10 issues.
Yeah.
And then if you read up through like issue like 6 or 7, and then like the tie-ins that were releasing around then, you can feel like, okay, this is very final for everything. Like all the battle worlds were like, all right, well, if we're going up against Doom, I guess this is it. And then it's like to be continued. And it's like, wow, okay, we're getting like everybody's going to fight and we're going to get a fresh start. Then they extended it by like 2 issues for some reason. And all they didn't like, it was only so they could not reset everything. That's essentially what it was. Yeah. They were going to reset. They blinked hard, like Andrew said. And the only thing we got out of that was Miles Morales is in the 1610 now. Or 616 now. Like that was it. The Maker did come over.
Right now he's in 6160.
Oh, don't even remind me about Incursion. We have like 2 more issues of that. Is
there really that many left?
And I know in the next issue, he's like all the art and previews and covers have shown him having like a sword fight with magic, where I'm just like, hey,
I hate it here.
You wouldn't be able to hold your own with magic, period.
No.
Not this magic. This magic hates
this like magic she's because regular 616 magic, like she's an X-Men, so there's a little bit of restraint still there, right?
Right.
This one, none of that.
Like Colossus has to be like, okay, chill down the experiments. Like Omega Red has to say like my whatever, like my Russian queen, like this is like we need him to survive with Wolverine and stuff. So yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go, but we all know. Actually, let me rephrase that, Andrew. We know how it's going to go. They're going to get in a fight. Like whatever happens, they go to Ni no Kuni. I know that's not the name. That's just what I'm going to call it from now on. They find Miles and the X-Men, and then they'll start fighting. And then blink, Miles, like they're going to clash, and then Miles is going to teleport out because of like the same bullshit that's been happening this entire time. And then he'll end up with who's left? I guess he's got to go back to the Ultimates, or he's got like Ultimate Wolverine and stuff. So yeah, he'll go to like the Ultimates or whatever. So it's dumb. It's a really bad series. I'm angry that you reminded me that it existed.
I'm sorry. I have to share my misery.
Let's see. What they say about we got Well Read Comics saying, hey guys, hey to you, Well Read, and he's asking Andrew, would you like to review? I really hope I'm saying this right.
Groken.
Okay, I was gonna say Groken, like Gro.
Yeah. So that's those who don't know, that is Kenneth Rocafort's creator-owned comic book. Beautiful art from the pages that I've seen. However, I have not read it yet. I need to. So I know I think he made a post recently where he said he was going to be starting up the Groken issue 4 Kickstarter or something like that soon. If I'm remembering correctly.
No. You do have that incorrect. It's not Groken 4. I remember this now. It's a Groken wrap for a NASCAR car. That's what he's funding right now. That's what he's asking for.
Shit. That sounds kind of gay. Not interested.
And imagine if he like, okay, I'll let the first one pass here because it's Ken, but like imagine if he did it like 3 times, 4 times.
Oh, wow, yeah, that sounds like really dumb.
That sounds really lame. Okay.
But I was gonna jump in on that at whatever like catch up tier he did, so that I could like read the other ones, because I'm a big Kenneth Rockford fan, but I've just never like had a chance to like grab his creator-owned work.
I didn't even know that existed. Like I remember him. Like I'm sure I read something because I remember he has a creator-owned thing. I didn't remember that's what it was. But while you guys were you were talking about that, it reminds me of. I'm sure. I know you do. I'm sure some of you out there do follow Kenneth Rockafort on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, wherever he happens to be. For a while, right when like the new 52 came out, he was still on Tumblr. I don't think he updates that anymore because who the hell uses that site? But I always get like angry, jealous, sad, like why live? Because like he'll be like, oh, here's a sketchbook, like my sketchbook entry for the day, and it is like. It's like on a book, but it's like his perfect coloring, all of his lines, and I'm like, how is this your warm up? Like,
he's just so good, man.
I love him so much. He's just so
good. I would beat an old lady with a stick to get him on a cover for Zephyr at some point.
Dude, I would. I'll buy 20. I would buy 20 of those. Speaking of buying, we've got Subhuman in the house. He says, the only thing I bought was Batman Red Skies. I forgot that was
a thing.
I forgot that was a thing too. I don't even
remember. I saw it on the shelf yesterday, but I just like passed it by.
I must have just like, you know what? I think I was too zeroed in on trying to find our JSC Batmans that I didn't have, but you had for once, that I like locked in there, and I didn't see, because like I know there is there was a Jim Lee cover for it that was like red and foil, and I know I would have like at least looked at it if I'd have seen it, but totally blanked my mind. I guess I'll pick up a copy or check it out before next week. But who's writing that? Who's doing that?
I have no idea.
I have no idea, because I was gonna say like hopefully it gives us something that's like Batman Full Moon, which we liked, but sticks the landing.
We did, but sticks the landing and better art.
Please, better art. I still can't get over, like, when I close my eyes at night, I still see like truck stop lizard lot Zatanna wearing no shoes at the fancy like coffee place that Bruce Wayne rented out, like
no shoes and booty shorts and a corset,
and then like the way, and then, but then also the way he like shaded it in that one panel made her look like she has like a gut coming out, and I'm like,
man, that was crimes against humanity, man.
And I'm like, that's Z. Like, Dan Mora, you will not stand for this. Get your ass over here and draw her.
Right. Redraw that whole damn book.
All
is what he needs to do.
Speaking of covers, speaking of buying things, I wanted to ask you this. Punk brings it up. Punk says he bought the Uncanny X-Men number 20 with the regular Fang Yang Rogue cover. And he also got the Emma Frost cover, Nimit cover. Did you get the Uncanny X-Men cover?
Not at my shop, but
really?
I got it ordered off of, they didn't have it. They only had, at least when I got there, and I got there at like 3:30, they only had cover A. They only had the standard cover for Uncanny. So I don't know if that's a case of they sold out of the variants, or if it's a matter of my shop. My shop's pretty intelligent in what they order. Like, they only order just a little bit more than what they're positive they're going to sell. Or like very, very confident they're going to sell. That way, they're just not sitting on stacks of unsold comic books, which keeps them very like nimble, which is smart.
Yeah.
But what I did do is I did wind up ordering that one off of Golden Apple along with the Black Cat and the Emma.
The Emma,
ones. So I've got those.
No, that makes me happy because I was telling this to Punk last night, and again, I think I must have just been like on a mission on Wednesday because I blinked on this too. But when I went in, I saw the cover on the shelf and I was like, oh yeah, the Fang Yang, I'll grab that. But it must have been the Virgin one, or else my shop was smoking crack, because it had like, it was 30. And I was like, no, like not doing 30. In my mind, I thought I was doing 30 for the standard. And it made sense because of what we talked about last week, where like, you were like, did Emma, can you find it? I'm like, no. And you looked and you're like, it's already $60 on eBay. So I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But also fuck you. Like I get why you're doing it, but also fuck you. But then Punk told me he got it for $5. And so I'm like, oh, I must have been looking at the Virgin, but still, like, I don't know. It's a little steep, $30. Like I'd go 20.
Those covers by her are like super short prints, it seems, and they do tend to like skyrocket in price immediately. Like not quickly, no, by the end of the day.
Well, like, yeah, because what last or like 2 weeks ago, last week, whenever the Emma one dropped, you messaged me at like 2 in the afternoon, 3 whenever you went, and you were like, any luck? And I was like, oh, I didn't look, like I'll go check. And I went, gone, like not even close to shop close for either of us. So I was like, wow, that thing flew off the shelf.
It was kind of ridiculous.
Also, to your point, like, just a side note that I actually now know, and I don't know. Anyway, fun fact, you were saying like how your shop is really good about ordering things. Like they don't go crazy, and they only order covers that they know are going to sell. My shop's actually like that too, and I didn't realize how stingy or not stingy per se, but how conservative they were in their ordering until this week. Well, there was a week ago, I was talking to you just between us, not on the show, about how like there was some variant that I saw like only one of on the shelf, and it was gone by like the time I left the store. And I was like, wow.
Oh, I remember you saying that. Yeah, I don't remember what book it was, but I do remember this conversation.
Right. And then this week I went and I wanted to pick up this cover for All New Venom because it's so good.
My shop didn't have it. My shop only had cover A.
But that's the thing, right? They only had one of these. Like I walked in at store open and picked it up. I didn't even like scramble. I was just like, ooh, look, they have it. And then like when I was like, ooh, put it down, looked back, that was it. And I was like, whoa, like great, like okay. There's no real takeaway from that, guys, out there. That's just like a thing. It's just a comic book store thing. That's all I got for that
shops, I think, will do that.
Yeah.
Instead of mass ordering cover A's just so that they can get some of the incentive variants in the hopes that they can mark those up. Because here's the thing, that might have worked in a healthier economy.
Not now.
Maybe 20 years ago.
Dude, maybe like a year ago or like 6 months ago, that might have worked.
But yeah, right now, like people can't just be like, at least most people, some people, maybe they got plenty of money to work with and great for them. But like, I think a lot of people are a little more strapped right now. And so they're thinking, that cover's cool, but I'm not dropping $50 on it.
Yeah. Which no,
like even me, and I do very well, but like what we were talking about when I was at my shop with the Art Germ foil variant cover, the cardstock one for Batman #1. I had forgotten because you had messaged me earlier that day saying, "Man, this thing's $25." And I had like that conversation had completely left my brain by the time I got finished with work and got to my shop, and so I just see foil Art Germ Batman variant, and so I pick it up off the shelf and I'm like, sweet, because those variants are normally like $8.99 or $9.99 for the foil ones, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet, this is awesome. And then I go to because what I do for my guys to make it easier is I'll sort my books by price, so I'll stack them by price just to hand them to them, because then they'll go, okay, so this many by $4.99, boom, they type it in faster.
See, I try to do that with my guys,
just to make their jobs easier.
They don't want to work with me because they will still like scan each one, and I'm like, I guess
really?
like maybe that's for your point of sale system, but guys, like what I'm doing here, like it's ridiculous, but
oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, because I do that to try and make their job a little easier.
Right, of course.
And I flipped over the Batman one. I was like, oh, this is the one Mav was talking about, $24.99.
Did they actually have the price on yours?
Yeah, it was on the back of the foil.
Okay, so But your shop doesn't board it?
No.
Really? So
no,
like you don't,
my shop,
not like this, right? Like
I bag in, I like buy my bags and boards there.
oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
because this is how they do mine, right? And so like,
and then because I have a pull list, I get a discount on everything.
Yeah, of course. So for me, so yeah, guys, right here, this is the cover Andrew and I are talking about. Art germ for Batman #1, which we will get to in a short second, in a hot second. This is his a wraparound cover. So Batman's on the front. This new Doctor is on the back. It is a foil variant. It looks fantastic. $25 fucking dollars.
It's not $25 beautiful.
It is not $25 beautiful. It is the like. So I picked it up because I saw it on the shelf and I went, ooh, art germ like foil, because there is one that is just Batman, right? Like it's you know how DC does theirs where it's like the back is like it's got the name of the book and it's just like a flat color.
Yeah.
And then so it's like that, but there's no Doctor. It's just Batman on the other side. And that one is like 7, 8. That's a normal one. So I went, oh, yeah, that's it. Perfect. Picked it up. Same size comic and everything. Get to the front. My guy's like, oh yeah, by the way, this one's 25. And I went, no, like I don't need that then. Like what the hell? Because
yeah,
I thought it would be like the big treasury sized editions, like my Superman one. And
I would have maybe paid like $11.99, $12.99 for the wraparound.
Like see this thing.
Yeah, like those. Yeah,
boom.
Those are cool.
Like and this is what I was talking about, guys. This is how DC does their backs. But yeah, like I thought it would be this size. No. 25 for this
regular size. Yeah.
And don't even get us started on the blind bags. I didn't buy any.
Oh no. I'm not. Nope. I refuse. I will not support that shit.
Like so greedy. I don't know how to say, like, it's not, I shouldn't be doing like a comparative phrasing, but like at least I will give DC, I don't want to give him anything, but like at least Batman #1, if you buy that blind bag, you're specifically like going to get one of the, like a foil, right? Like you're going to get something that's only in there.
Right.
Which again, stupid as shit. I don't like it, but if you're going to do this, I
still think the gotcha mechanic is stupid for comic books anyway, but to your point, yeah, at least it's still going to be a foil.
But then with Ultimate, like Marvel's doing it for Ultimate, I don't even remember what it is. Whatever. When the maker comes back, Ultimate End. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Ultimate End Game. So stupid. So dumb. They're doing it where you buy the blind bag and you just get a random cover. It could be the same fucking cover A or B.
It could be cover A, and it's like, man, that is. Then why would I bother grabbing the blind bag? I'll just grab cover A.
I will just grab that, like off the bat. It's so ridiculous. And guys, like the variants they have. So here is the main foil cover for our for Batman #1 this week. I'm sure we've all seen it. You know, the Jorge Jimenez. It's also the cover A. It's this exact cover, gold.
Yeah, which is cool.
It's cool. It's cool as hell.
But I'd rather just pay a few extra dollars for that than do some blind bag BS.
Oh my gosh! Like if the artist,
I'll pay $9.99 for that.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. It's gold. I'll pay $9.99 for that, like that.
What if they emboss it? If you emboss it, hit the 90s nerds. Hit us in the nuts like
if
that.
You emboss it, dude. We can crank that up to like $12.99.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I'm giving you more money, but at least I'm now guaranteed to get something that I want.
Right. But yeah, guys. So Batman #1, ridiculous shit. I get, guys, that times is tough, but come on, DC. Like what actually are we doing here? That did feel kind of scummy.
Yeah, don't burn whatever goodwill you have right now.
Let's see. Oh, Subhuman says Red Skies is a collection of Doug Mensch run of Detective and Batman from the 80s. Oh, interesting.
Okay. Oh, wait, Red Skies. That's the trade or the omnibus. That's what that was. I did see that on my shop has a smaller wall for like whatever new trades and manga released that week specifically. And so I did see that there. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't have an interest in it, but it was cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think it was a trade. I completely blanked. I was gonna say, like, why are they doing that? But that's when I thought it was like a one shot. But it's if it's a trade, doesn't really matter when you're making a trade. You're making the trade. I got no complaints there. I'm just glad Doug is great at it on Batman, so I'm glad his stuff is getting more attention, more love, all that sort of fun stuff. Mike is in the house. What is up, Mike? Well, first he says, I haven't bought any comics lately, but I'm currently reading Justice League Unlimited on DC Universe Infinite. So I think both of us like that book, but it does hit.
It took a little bit to get going, though.
It hits the same lull that Superman did for a little bit, which was that We Are Yesterday crossover, which really grinds everything to a halt. Once you get past that, like, you know, there's an issue of that crossover, which is admittedly really good. The one where Bart is trying to, like, tell everybody that, like, Grodd's here!
That, honestly, the entire run up to that point, however mid it may have been, was worth it for that issue alone, because not only did it have Bart being written by Wade and being the most Bart that he had been since he was last written by Wade, but it also had a couple of cool Kara moments as well, if I remember correctly. And so I was just like, I was on the moon, man. I was so happy.
It has good Kara moments, it does, but I hate this. I only remember the really, really stupid one that we always make fun of when they like shortcutted through the Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone.
And she's like, Wally, how did we not like transform? And he's like, I don't know. And then like an explosion happens and it's like, okay, that's it. Like, we're not going to address that.
Yeah, we're just moving on. Yeah. It's like, oh, I guess we're not addressing that. Yeah.
And I remember that one specifically because you and I both had the same reaction of like, before I read that next panel, I was like, wait a second, you're supposed to be a Phantom. And then they do it, but it's just whoosh, whoosh. so good. But Mike also says, I haven't kept up, but I feel like One World Under Doom should be like the God Doom part of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I don't even remember that part. I'll be honest. I played that game a long time ago. It's a good game. I played all of them. They're all pretty damn solid games.
I played the crap out of the first two. I never wound up playing the third one.
Dude, the third one. So the third one is a Switch game. Came out.
It's like a Switch exclusive.
17,
now
19.
that I have a Switch 2, I might consider grabbing that to see if it runs well on the Switch 2.
Regardless, like that game is so good. It's one of those examples that you and I talk about where like they have every like thing to pull from, so they streamline it and make it all sort of like coherent and work, and it's like a love letter to all things Marvel. It's got really addictive gameplay, obviously. Unfortunately, short on skins. Like I think everybody only gets like 2, which is like, come on. But anyway, like it's that game. That's one of those games that I like throw on occasionally where it's like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do tonight, and I'll just play that thing for like 6 hours. So I think I've told you this before. My evidence to how good this game is they have big roster, all your Marvel heroes, including.
They don't have Emma Frost, which makes me sad.
Which is a bummer. But they have Jean, yay! But so they have Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, like Spider-Gwen, and Kamala, and for those of you who haven't played an Ultimate Alliance game, basically what it is, top-down RPG, kind of like a Diablo, where you go through dungeons and you progress through a story, and like most video games,
like a dungeon crawler.
Yeah, dungeon crawler.
It's not too dissimilar to like
that's what I was looking for.
Like your Gauntlet or
yes.
your Golden Axe or
way better than Diablo. Yes, that's a better comparison.
Or Diablo, yeah.
Yeah. So
similar genre to those.
Right. And so as you progress, you'll in classic comic book fashion, it's like, oh, there's Wolverine. What's wrong with him? Oh, we got to fight him. And you fight them, and then you get more people added to your team. For Ultimate Alliance 3, Miles, Gwen, and Kamala show up when there is a prison break happening on the raft, and your team is trying to put it down. It is being like somebody has the mind. Oh, I think it's the Green Goblin. He has like the Time Stone or the Mind Stone. He's messing with everybody's head. So the kids, they show up and they're like, whoa, like it's time to put you down. Like we're the best, but their minds are all wacky. So you beat them. After they're beaten, instead of still being like, oh, I'm the best or whatever, like their dialogue is very much like Miles is like, yeah, I don't even like, why did he pick me? Because he couldn't get you? Like, you're way better than me. Like They like roll like they're in there. They feel like the roles should feel like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
they feel like how the character should be written rather than how people try and write them.
Yeah, and so like I got their dialogue and I was like, okay, I'm in for a good like we're in for some fun here. But I brought this up specifically because Mike, you made me think of something. As Andrew and I have said for weeks now, like, what is the point of One World Under Doom? We said it a little while ago. Nothing is happening. Nothing matters. And I remember a couple weeks back, we made the point of like, it's Doom being, emperor again, king again, ruler again, whatever. But
it feels like we've been here before.
It feels like we've been here before, but
conceptually.
But what Mike made me think here is like, it's not only that what makes this so lame is not only that we've been here before, but we've seen literal God Emperor Doom. Like, he was in charge of existence, like the multiverse.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he lost there. And there's that whole big ending to Secret Wars where it talks about how, like, Victor will never be better than Reed, how he accepts that, how he knows he's got a limitation. And he gives up that godhood to fight Reed. Like, we've gotten to like the biggest point you could possibly get to, and now you're just supposed to be like, okay, but now he rules a world. All right. Ooh. No, exactly. Like, ooh. Call Galactus. I don't give a shit. Like,
all right. This is why I keep calling, unfortunately, even though there are some genuinely great books at Marvel right now and at DC. Marvel has gone from being the house of ideas to the house of status quo. Ugh. They don't know how to move on from decisions and let things play out. They don't know how to be like, okay, this happened. Now we have to contend with that down the road and take that into account. Instead, what they do is they wait a couple of years and then they're like, all right, so we're going to go and do this again. Right. And it's just this big old cycle of basically putting characters back into the same points that they've been in every handful of years. And you don't get character progression that way. You might get a little character progression in that window, but then when they get to the end of that point, then they just hit the rewind button and cycle them back to the start. And so it's like, well, what was the point of literally all of that? Especially if there was anything resembling character growth. Because now we're just back to square one. Why do we even do all of that? What's the point? We're in the same place we started.
One of the worst, like it happens it happens in the span of pages. That entire cycle is at the end of, and this is not just me being my Ben Reilly fanboy, but it's at the end of Wells's run of Amazing Spider-Man, where there is Ben meets Peter for like coffee, and Ben basically goes like, look, I get it. My mind was screwed up. Let's put it to bed here. Like, you go your way, I'll go my way. I'm sorry. And he's like, I don't want to be like, he's putting it all there. And Pete's like, okay, like, fine, like, I can do this.
And now we're where we're at.
Well, no, but like literally, they shake hands, they say bye. Then you turn the page. Ben is he's in a fucking alley watching Peter, like, with like his friends, like having dinner. And he's like, I'm going, like, you thought I was like being truthful, like I'm coming for you. And I'm like, what are we really? Like, you had the resolution there. You could have gone and made Chasm, I still hate it, but you could have done anything else with him. And then you just went, nope, drama. And yeah,
let's just do another evil Spider-Man.
Right where we are right here. Damn, I didn't know Scott was on this podcast, Andrew, another Ben Reilly boy. Oh, he's my number one guy. I get very annoying about him. Do not worry.
One of Mike's best buddies, his name's Scott. He's a mega fan of two characters specifically. He's just a big comic book guy in general. Like, he's our level, right? Ben Reilly and Dick Grayson. He is
can't fault him for those two.
He is like mega fan of both of them. Well, and I give as much crap as I give you about Ben Reilly. Trust me, you are not the only one.
Oh no, I was just about to say, like, that's so funny because like you and Mike both have an S friend, like a friend with a name that starts with S, who's obsessed with Ben Reilly, and you can fling crap at.
Yep.
Parallels. Yep. But oh well, before we move on, I do want to highlight this. Mike says Mora is insane. again, don't think Mora exists.
That's what made Justice League Unlimited worth it to those sluggish issues.
It's definitely him, but also I'm currently of the belief that there is no Dan Mora anymore. He is 700 clones in a Matrix-like vat.
It's Clone Saga.
It really kind of
This is our Dan Mora clone conspiracy.
Oh my god. I don't really know a lot about the drama because I don't know Transformers. I like Transformers a lot. I like Beast Wars. Don't really like follow any of that stuff, but Dan's on Transformers now, and his first issue came out.
He started on Mighty Morphin.
He started on Mighty Morphin, yeah. Now he's on Transformers. His first issue came out for Skybound, and that fandom like hates him apparently. I saw so much like Dan Mora like sucks, like blah blah blah, and I was like, what? Where is this even coming from? And again, I don't know where it was coming from. It was just really baffling to me that it was like, oh, there's all this Dan, like everything was this guy sucks, and I'm like,
look at,
huh?
I'm looking at it now. Granted, full transparency, I'm not the biggest Transformers fan in the world. Like, I watched and loved Beast Wars as a kid.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I was always more of a TMNT guy than, like, I ignored G.I. Joe completely.
Yeah,
that was before my time. Transformers, it was kind of like on the tail end of it. So I didn't really catch any of it as a kid. So the bulk of my Transformers experience is Beast Wars and the freaking Michael Bay movies.
I like them.
Better.
They're not necessarily great Transformers
I like
movies,
some
but
of them, but I've only seen the first 4. I didn't see the last, what was it, 1 or 2, whatever. And I did see Bumblebee.
The one about being like or go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the opening 5 minutes or so of Bumblebee when it's the war on Cybertron, that was dope as hell.
That's a really sick scene.
Like, that right there, just give Transformers fans, like, I don't even count myself among them. Give classic Transformers fans just a movie of that, and they will give you money forever. Right?
That's kind of what we got with Transformers 1, and nobody showed up. But no, like that movie rule, or like that beginning of the movie rules. I always forget that there's like 5 or 6 of these fucking things, like in the first like Bay run, not even counting like Bumblebee or whatever. And
yeah.
Like, so when you said like I've only seen the first 2, and I was like, oh, that means you're only missing out on 2. But I'm like, oh no, there's like 4 you haven't seen.
So I saw the first 4 in theaters. So I saw Transformers, I saw Revenge of the Fallen, I saw was it Dark Side of the Moon or Dark of the Moon, which is actually, ironically enough, my favorite of those first 3.
Dark of the Moon, I think, yeah.
And then what was it? Age of Extinction was the 4th one, which that one was where I kind of tapped out because I was like, man, you guys wasted the dinosaurs.
I remember when they did
nothing with them. I was so depressed.
When we got that first trailer or the first shot in a trailer of like Optimus riding Grimlock, I was like, what? How? Like, Grimlock looks stupid. How did you do that? Like, it's fucking Grimlock. Like, if you screw up like a T-Rex design on things, guys, like, it takes talent. That's kind of like the easiest thing you can motif a character.
The dinosaurs just on their own are cool.
Like, yeah, exactly.
By default, they start at cool. You get the opportunity to try and elevate that if you're just that good, or to somehow manage to diminish that if you suck that bad.
That's like Andrew right there. That emphasis, like, suck that bad, because it, like you said, it's not that hard to do dinosaurs.
Dinosaur. Look, perfect example, because you hear people talk trash about the Jurassic World movies all the time, but they made a crap ton of money. So whether you like them, you love them, or you hate them to death, they made money. Like, even the most recent one,
it didn't crack $1 billion, but it was still like 880 million.
Yeah,
like, it was still hot.
Yeah, it was still a lot of money. And so it was like, look, people who like dinosaurs are just kind of easy to please. Like, now, if you're somebody that's going for like some super in-depth storytelling, I'm gonna be honest with you. Read the Jurassic Park novels. Don't bother with the movies. Like, don't bother with any of them. Not even the first movie. If you want like super in-depth, because that thing is like a sliver of the story of the first.
You can watch Jurassic Park 1 for like up until like they land on Ila Nubar, and then you can go to the books. Like that's where it goes.
So when the movie really starts,
yeah,
then
that's
it's
when
like
it goes completely off the rails from the book.
Yeah, and it's an entirely different story after that. Yeah, absolutely. So it's like dinosaur, like people that just want to go see dinosaurs. It's the same thing with people that like going to see big monster movies, right? It's like people were talking trash about the MonsterVerse Godzilla movies. Didn't matter. They made a bunch of money
they
because
made a crap ton of money. Yeah,
people just wanted to go see a big monster on the screen, right? Like it's not.
This
is
really
not a rocket science.
I was just same phrase. I mean, duh. But yeah, it is rocket
your
science.
game. It is as a filmmaker. It is literally your game to lose because you are starting from a position of basically being on the high ground.
Yeah.
Basically being in a winning position based on the fact that you decided to make a movie about dinosaurs. You decided to make a movie about Godzilla. Like you already like are starting at the position of we're gonna make some money.
Like yeah, you're already on kind of
just
easy
have
mode.
to yeah. You're basically on journo mode at that point.
Kinda like,
you have to F it up like irrevocably, like spectacularly,
like monster
in
movies,
order to
dinosaur, like
for it to
Batman
fail.
too. Batman's one of those things I would put there. Like if you
have
a Batman movie
too.
that doesn't do like amazingly among like just at the box office, you've kind of screwed that up. Like even the Schumacher one and the George Clooney one, like or George Clooney and Val Kilmer one, those crappy. Millions of dollars. Oh my God, did they make so much money, right? So
like adjusted for inflation, those things made stupid money.
Yeah,
and we look back on them and laugh at them now, and we're like, oh, this is super lowbrow and blah blah blah. It's like people that went to the movie theater on a Friday night didn't really give a damn.
We just wanted spectacle. That's kind of all we really needed.
Yeah. Here's my Batman credit card, like.
Look, I still want one of those, all right?
I do too.
Just to wrap this up, because this is where I was trying to get at with the amount of movies. Mike says, Andrew, if you could possibly believe it, Transformers is even more unwatchable, and I sat through it because I like pain, apparently. So, funny you should say that,
5,
Mike.
That was what, last night? Whatever that one was?
Something like that, yeah. So, it has fucking Anthony Hopkins in it. Like, that's the one. I need to see, like, what Jeffrey Epstein tape they had on Anthony Hopkins to get him in the 5th Transformers movie. Like, not 1, not 2, 5. Okay, sure, why not? But Mike is 100% correct. That movie is so terrible. Like, I watched that movie on a plane back from Japan, and when it was the last movie I watched before we landed. I got off and I was mad. Like, I was actively mad that I had watched a free movie.
Angry.
That I'd watched a free fucking movie.
It was that you spent that time on that long of a flight where you could have watched anything else, and you chose to watch that, and you were just depressed and disappointed.
That's exactly what it was. Because that's the same, okay, I'm sitting on the flight. I have all the in-flight movies. I could expand my horizons. There's going to be new releases that I haven't seen or whatever. Oh, Transformer. I haven't seen that. I'm tired. Okay, what? Oh my God. Like, anything else, please.
You're like, oh dear God, why?
I went up to all the stewardesses and in like broken Japanese was like, sorry for, domestic terrorism by making everybody on the plane experience that.
I'm going to crash this plane because I had to sit through this movie.
It's either I crash this plane now or we all get arrested when we land because somebody was like, oh my God, they played that movie was played. Get that individual.
Amazing.
But with Transformers out of the way, want to talk some comics?
Let's talk some comics.
Alrighty, where do you want to start today? Do we want to start DC? Do we want to start Marvel? Where do we want to go?
Let's start DC. Let's start Bats. Because I think neither of us really knew what to expect going into this first issue in this soft relaunch. Kind of putting Batman in a new status quo that followed a very boring, or at least what we read of it, boring arc. All I knew was that my boy Jorge Jimenez was on interiors and contributed to the concept designs for some of the redesigns of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was on board with that, and I was like, well, hopefully he stays on for more than an issue.
Which was this is exactly how they sold us the last time on All In. Like, Jorge's here. 3 different artists after that, and Jorge will come back for 2 pages at the very end.
Right? I really hope we don't get that crap again.
Yep, Mike, we're going for the Matt Fraction Batman here. Batman Volume 4, number 1. I just realized this now, kind of to what Clone Geek was saying and what we were talking about with reboots. While Marvel is really, really bad about like revamping their worlds, they're like DC is really bad about revamp, or I don't want to say bad because I actually prefer it DC's way, but they very rarely relaunch a book. You know what I mean? Like we got like New 52 or coming out of Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's when we got like Batman
New
Volume
52
2.
and Rebirth all relaunched at new number 1s.
Yep.
But that's because those were those kind of, well, New 52 was the actual reboot. Rebirth was a refresh.
Yeah.
And so, but they still
needed.
chose to, it was a needed one. They still chose to like reset the number, but they kept, they're still tallying that legacy number.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I'm sure they're doing with here.
Which makes sense.
And probably by like when we get to like issue 50 or whatever, it'll be like Detective or Batman 1200, whatever it'll be at that point or whatever. But yeah, so DC rarely does this. So I guess to DC's benefit, I'm sure that this book has probably made them $1 zillion this week. Like I'm sure this thing has...
dude, with all of the stinking...
Oh, the blind bags and
well, not just the blind bags, but just the variants in general. Like I grabbed the basic cover, right?
Yeah.
So in fact, I can grab it right here, but I grabbed the basic cover A.
Which is surprising, guys. My shop didn't get our A. We got everything except cover A.
My boy Campbell, and I grabbed my boy Mark Silvestri. Right,
which is such a good one. I love the Silvestri.
That Silvestri cover. I had completely forgotten that he was doing one for this. I know that I had seen it at one point.
Oh yeah, we've looked at him. We look at him all the time. Yeah.
So cover A, which you got pulled up right there, right? And then,
which I don't know if you heard, but my shop didn't get it. They got everything else but cover A. I don't know what happened. It's coming.
How?
It's coming this week. I don't know. Like he doesn't even the guys didn't even know. They're like, we just opened the box and it's not there. We called them this morning and they're sending it, and it's like, but you got all the variants.
That's freaking
like,
wild, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Except you didn't have Campbell, but I grabbed you one, so I've got that
so
in a
much.
stack.
I don't know why we
books
didn't have that one. I don't know why we didn't.
I don't know. It's a cool looking one though. I get what he was going for. I maybe it's an OCD thing for me. I don't like when images cut off parts of characters' heads. That kind of drives my OCD up the absolute wall.
It does the same to
everything
me,
else
but it's
about
also
this looks great.
It's also just a bad art take, so in art, guys. Like, so as you can see there with that cover, what Andrew's talking about is Batman's like forehead gets kind of cut off, so you don't see the curve and you don't see the horns. You need to leave enough visual indicators that is like a curve on his head, and he might have like the horns jutting up, even if you don't show them, because your brain is kind of filling in what is beyond the border. So if his head's like that right there, your brain's just going to be like, oh, so he has a big like pinhead. Like, oh, weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no indication of like what my frame of reference is for this. So no, I'm right there with you.
They were clearly... The idea, I think, was clearly because the center of attention here is the new belt, right? Yeah, for sure, which looks cool. But I would have been perfectly fine with pulling the camera back a little bit more so we actually see all of his cowl, because that's like the iconic thing about him, right?
Yes,
you got the bat cowl, right? That's what sets him apart from a lot of other characters that have a full cowl. But then this man,
that's so good. I'm like genuinely mad that one is only in the blind bags, or the foil for that is only in the blind bags, because that thing is so beautiful. And
is it spot foil?
I actually nobody's seen any of them.
Oh,
because they haven't been pulled yet.
Because here I'm thinking like keep Batman and all of the bats matte, and then just have the fiery explosion stuff in the background foil. That would be like, that'd be out of control.
Well,
man.
like to that cover's specific credit, guys. When I went into my LCS, it did the job of a cover. I saw that among all of them, and it stood out. It grabbed my attention. I went, damn, that thing looks cool. That looks good. Like, if you ever see it, like it's just fantastic. It's a great cover. But yes, they've so we're at Batman Volume 3, number 1. Obviously, big rollout. Everybody's doing a cover. We got Jay Scott covers. We've got Matt Fraction covers, we've got David Aja covers, we've got Art Germ covers for $25 and all that fun stuff. But so what we're looking at here, for those of you who don't know, there is no big reset happening. There's no event that just closed out. There's no the last arc was the Zdarsky stuff, and that there's been somebody's been on him after that, but that was sort of like the last big hubbubaloo, and now we've sort of been in like the lots of books
in between while they're trying to figure out, all right, who's picking up this thing for at least a few dozen issues after this.
Yep. and guys, we've seen this happens to books a lot, especially when they know like a reset is coming. One of the ones that always hurts me, Andrew, and maybe you'll sympathize. Right before Infinite Crisis started, the Flash did not know what to do. Like that book got all over the place, and like
that's the back half of Wade's last run on it, right?
Yeah, but like he knew that Crisis was Infinite Crisis was coming, and Wally's gonna die or go into the Speed Force, and Bart's gonna age up. So they were like,
"Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of John's run then." Yeah, I'm thinking of Johns' run. So it was during Johns' run.
Oh, was it Johns'?
We're talking, yeah.
But yeah,
so it was at some point during Johns' run.
Because that there's like a good 6 or 7 issues where like he's fighting like the B villain that I don't ever remember because who cares? And it's just like they were trying to do like self-contained stories, but it felt really weird because at that time in DC everything was really big. That was like you know, they had just set up the big overarching conspiracy about Max Lord, and so it just felt really weird. Like,
wasn't 52 going on at that point too?
52 was about to start, yeah, because that comes right after Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
So it was just a weird moment. So with Batman, none of that happened. I think DC just went, you know what? Time for sort of a refresh. You know, shake out the sheets, shake out the dust, and all that. So with this book, if you guys have seen any press, according to Matt Fraction, who you guys know, he's a big writer, wrote Thor, wrote Hawkeye. He's great. And of course, Jimenez, he's the GOAT, best Superman, Superboy, or John Kent Superboy artist you'll ever see. In interviews, they've said that the point of this book was very much to give him a refresh, give, as Mike was pointing out down there, a good hop-in spot for everybody, and to really bring back, like, how do I put this? They want to, like, it's supposed to be a reframing or, like, you know, resetting the camera back on Batman and his, like, core rogues gallery and core who he is, right? So that's why Jay Scott highlighted the belt there on his cover, which I tried to make that one our thumbnail, everybody, because it's Jay Scott and it's us.
Not gonna work.
It was literally like no matter how I put it in, the center thing was like his crotch, not even the belt. Like it was his crotch, and I'm like, it's just not gonna happen.
This is not working.
Yeah, but that is
this ain't that kind of show.
No, that's After Dark. So the belt, it's getting such a highlight because that is something Jimenez and Mora have really been working to reinforce. You might have seen it in like the Zdarsky run or anywhere else Bats has shown up. I actually like it a lot. It's a little chunkier than his normal belt, but not like 90s pouches. Yeah. It works a lot. Like I really, it's not too clunky where you're like, oh, you're over encumbered, but it gives you that sense of like, that's right.
He's actually carrying some stuff.
Yeah. He's a gadget hero. That's what it is.
This isn't Terry McGinnis, right? He's not Batman Beyond, whom I adore,
who we love, but that's just not the character. Like if Bruce right here starts doing like a tech suit and flying, I'm gonna be like no, like like this is weird. Like this ain't it, as the kids say. So with this book, I'm trying to think of how to break down. So very simple story we get in this first issue. We have Gordon back on the streets as a beat cop following his whole blow up after murdering the mayor and sleeping with his wife, and Vandal Savage coming in to be commissioner.
He's got a lot going on.
He's got quite a bit going on, but he's back on the streets. He's enjoying, trying to find the positive in life, when out of nowhere, Killer Croc just launches onto the scene, starts tearing up through Gotham. We cut over to Batman, which I love this shot so.
That's a great man.
Man, it's so
Jimenez
good.
is so that's why he's like one of the 3 best house artists right now, next to Mora and oh gosh, because also Chichetto and
I knew that was gonna be one,
and Marquez.
I knew that was gonna be the 2 you were gonna pick. I
gotta go 4 then. I gotta say top 4 because I can't exclude Chichetto or Marquez from that.
You really can't. But yeah,
they're just all so good.
Like, look at the fish angle he gave this, right? Like, it really even gives you that sense of like, holy shit, like we are so high up, like we are so high up in this building. It's great. I kind of
fantastic perspective.
I mean, like, I think back to when he was fighting the Riddler over his like tech company, and they were up in the high rise a lot. Nothing gave me this sense of like, whoa, like we're on the precipice. None
of that
like,
gave you that sense of vertigo like this.
Yeah, does. There you go, vertigo. That's the proper term. So Batman basically is asking, what's going on? What happened with Croc? He learns from this new doctor. I don't know if we ever got her name. I think
we didn't, but I suspect that she's somebody who was at least at some point involved in Arkham Asylum because they're in Arkham. They call it Arkham Towers or something like that?
Now, yeah.
So there's probably some sort of reformation going on with that we're missing out context from because we dropped it
right after that. The last like 5 issues or so, whatever that mini what are we doing? Run that direction list.
We skipped all that.
We were out. So Batman, with his investigation, learns from this new doctor that in Arkham Towers, rather than just like locking them up and treating them like they're crazy, they actually work with them and try to make progress. And he learns from the doctor that Croc has sort of been reverting to like a childlike state, almost like he was. I really liked this because I'm like, mate, like that's a cool bit, like twist to his character. She says something about, he's molting his like personality like he does his skin, and I'm like, oh,
right. And both are happening simultaneously too, because we see him later on in the issue and he's becoming a little more monster like. Right, he's got some more spikes going on, bigger teeth, things like that. It's a cool design, and I think it's a deliberate dichotomy between the visual and the personality that's happening here with Fraction's writing with Jimenez's design, in that we're getting a more monster looking design, but his personality is like becoming this very childlike almost. Innocence. It's really strange but interesting. It's a cool way to present the character.
I definitely like what they do here. So as Andrew said, with Croc out there, with Croc going through all these weird changes, Batman is like, all right, I'm gonna go find him. One of the cruxes of what he's talking about here with the doctor is, okay, I hear you that you're working with him, but people don't change. Like this isn't a change. Like, of course, this was his true nature coming out. This was always going to happen. So Batman takes off. This is such a good splash page. Just
again, perspective, man.
So
like this gives such dynamic movement perspective. He is zipping through the skies here. Like he's not flying like Superman would in terms of speed, but you can tell there's actual speed and movement here without just adding normal speed lines. I like that those quote unquote speed lines that like Jimenez uses here. Yeah, it's the rays of the sun. Yeah. He's utilizing, and maybe that might be a combination of both Jimenez and I forget who colored this, but whoever the colorist is, that might have been a colorist choice as well, at least in part. Think both colors because they do a great job on this.
Where the hell are the credits? Oh, it's here. Okay. Tomiyu Mori. I'm not familiar with him. Me neither.
I'm not familiar with him, but
I'm loving what you're doing here.
Job. Yeah, like that page right there, that sells the whole book.
This is your Tamra Bolivain to your Dan Mora. This is your Alex Sinclair to your Jim Lee. Like, keep these two together. Like, this is really good. Honestly, what the speed here makes me feel like, Andrew, is in Arkham City when you would get that boost from like going up, like that initial boost, and then you would like hit out your wings. That's what I get here, which is, again,
that might be what they were going for.
Not that, but it's like not super fast. It's not, speeding bullet. It's very much like I've got wind and I'm whipping, but I'm gliding on it. Like I'm using the environment rather than changing the environment to work for me, which is very Batman and everything.
Exactly.
I will note, so in these inset panels, it's basically just flipping through TV channels, giving you a sort of lay of the land of where Gotham is. Obviously, corruption, journalists are being detained. Vandal Savage is not talking to the authority, or he's like not being open about like what the police are doing. There's they're selling a tactical bomb vest to keep you safe and sexy. But there is one panel here. It is the red one where it's like a Fox News type of show, but they're going like Gotham City has a ninja problem and no one is doing anything about these damn unregulated dojos. And I'm just like, yeah, that would be a problem like in Gotham, right? Like that's just a funny thing.
In Gotham, yeah.
They're not being like racist. They're not. I'm not even talking about like the Fox News commentary of it. I'm talking about like, yeah, of course somebody would bring up like ninjas and dojos and say unregulated dojos. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a good little bit of like world building. Like, here we are.
I'll say this though, and it might be one of my few critiques of this first issue. I wish that they had found other places to put those little TV panels,
like spread them out throughout the
spread
issue.
them out over the course of the book appropriately, because I would have actually preferred for this just to be this beautiful
that should
splash.
Be this page, like this right here.
Yeah.
Like this title page, it should be this.
Yeah, give me this beautiful double page splash here by Jimenez, and you get a little bit of more space to work with because there's this thick black bar there down at the bottom to make it look like you're not wasting the art, but you are still wasting the art. It's like, yeah, I understand the tricks. I work in comics. You're still.
Most people won't see it, but we will. All right, we got you, DC.
I looked at that. I was like, I saw what happened there.
I was like, they very clearly just moved the artwork up, and we're like, we just got to fill that.
That's literally all they did. Yeah, that's literally all they did. They shrunk it. They might have even chopped off some of the bottom.
Like, yeah.
Because what it looks like here, because look at the on the right-hand side of the page, right?
Mm-hmm.
The lower right-hand side where you have this kind of tan, like swooping flat color.
Yeah.
Right?
This like back
right
of a
there
roof or
looks
something.
like that's where you wanted to put your credits.
Yep. Dude, because it's, and you know what? Okay, how do I put this? To your point, and this is what I noticed, if you look at that little spot there, you see these like cross pluses or whatever that are like carved in. Look at the angle of it, right? Like if you look at this gargoyle and the mask, it looks like those should be, a line, like they should be going in a line as Batman is, like going into that foreground. Instead, they just go straight across. Like they fade into it just being a flat surface. So I'm like, that's exactly where my thought went. I was like, oh, there's your stylish, like you put your colorist and your credits and Bob Harris under there. Like I see what you guys are doing. So
that's I think what the initial plan was intended to be.
I think so. And I don't know why they condensed it. Cause this page doesn't need to be here.
It doesn't. It feels like 2 extra pages. Like on its own, I think that could make for kind of a neat poster or neat print, but
it could make for a cool wraparound jacket for something.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Like a dust jacket for for a hardcover.
For like this hardcover, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure.
But yeah, as it is, like like this feels like it was so thrown in because like there's no detail to it, so it doesn't feel like maybe they just colored over it with black because it's the Jimenez art, but then none of that. Notice all the description Andrew was just giving to the background back here, right? The sun rays and the light. None of that. Like there's no radiance here, like zero. Like there's just, it's a very basic Photoshop gradient. So I definitely think
tonally it feels completely different from everything else in the book.
Yeah, it feels weird. I don't get it. But anyway, from there, we get back into the streets of Gotham. We learn that Vandal Savage is deploying like special militarized anti-superhuman police. Uh-oh. Whoa, that was weird. You like buzzed out for a second. Like
I was shutting off my camera for a brief second, but I didn't realize it didn't have my
No worries, I can do it.
There.
There we go.
Cool.
So
give me 2 seconds. Keep
talking. Of course. Go do your thing. So yeah, Vandal is, taking his more punitive, authoritative justice to the streets with more like tactically armed cops. that's all we really get from that development. Again, this is sort of, bringing us back into Gotham, reintroducing Batman's status quo, all of that sort of fun stuff. So from
I
there,
like the Batmobile design here too.
I really like this Batmobile
it's sleek,
design.
And it's unique, but it does give me vibes of the classic 90s animated series.
It kind of gives me vibes of all of them without falling too much into either of them, right? Because like I definitely see the 90s animated like sleekness to it, especially with the windshield and everything. You see the Charger, like the Dodge Charger-y look of it that you get from the Batman.
The Batman.
Yeah. The Batman.
I think the angle of the shot in panel 1 is what really gives me the 90s animated series vibe.
Oh yeah, because it's that big elongated,
that, like, that super like zoomed in perspective of the front, right, where you
with
got,
the
like,
lights,
shortening, and it was like that.
Exactly.
As soon as I saw that, I just started hearing. And
I mean, look at the color. All the colors here are basically like the colors for that intro, but maybe just a little brighter. But yeah, so it's a really cool Batmobile. You can kind of see in panel 6, the one at the bottom there, it looks like it has some sort of like bolted on like armor or something, which gives me big Tumbler vibes, like the Tumbler car vibes. So, and then you've got the big engine right there, like in the center, just one big old one, which is like the pretty much all of them, like the animated series.
I was gonna say that's a lot of them. Yeah.
So keeping all the classics here, updating them the right way without making it too like of the moment, right? Like if I see this Batmobile in 20 years, I'll still be like, oh yeah, that's a Batmobile. I won't be like, oh, that's a Cybertruck Batmobile or anything. That's Tumbler. The literal Tumbler.
Boring.
So, as you guys may have noticed in this panel, we introduce one of the ongoing things. I believe this is left over from the last volume, but Bruce is now sort of I wouldn't say hallucinating Alfred, but he's sort of mentally checking in with, like, he's sort of like his own internal what am I looking for here, Andrew? Like his own AI, but it's in his mind. Like, what? I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
So and admittedly, I haven't gone back to look at the prior run that you and I were reading before we dropped it because it was boring and underwhelming as hell.
So bad.
But I was conflicted as to whether or not this was strictly an internal thing that Bruce was basically, he was transplanting the voice and mind of Alfred as his own conscience.
Yeah.
So like
that's what I'm looking at.
Instead of like listening, instead of Bruce listening to his conscience, he's kind of putting Alfred in that role, right? He's putting Pennyworth in that role, that like Pennyworth is his conscience. And that's actually like that bit right there, as much as I hate the idea of I still am not happy that Alfred's dead. I know that that's far more than water under the bridge, right? At this point, but I'm still not happy about it because I love Alfred.
I love Alfred, but I'm personally okay with it because it's, oh my God, we're moving forward, right? Like, holy shit, there's some development in life, but I like Alfred as a character.
Sure, yeah, and that's fair. But I like the idea of this because, or at least of the way that I just described it, because Pennyworth was already very much like, whether Bruce decided to act on it or not, he very much was that voice of reason quite often, and he was that kind of conscience for Bruce in many instances. And so I like that bit. On the other hand, I'm still like kind of on the fence as to whether or not that's actually what's happening, or if this is like some like hologram AI that Bruce has that's still filling in that same role. It hasn't been, at least not that I can remember.
I'm right there with you.
Clarified which of those things that it is. Maybe that's intentional, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I think the point is that Alfred is meant to act as Bruce's conscience, and I like that bit.
I like that bit in the sense too that to me it feels like Bruce has finally accepted like Alfred's death and now can like move on and take Alfred, like everything Alfred taught him, and really evolve into like that next father stage, right? Because like now it's him who has to take care of everybody. So him sort of like, I've accepted it, I've moved on, now I'm going to use what Pennyworth taught me going, like, I don't know, there's just something really wholesome behind all of that, like, awful exterior happening here.
Yeah.
And I do like that whether it's a hologram or his brain, like, this Alfred still gives him shit. Like, in this panel, he's like, where, I wonder, are we going? And Batman goes, we're following a hunch. And he's like, oh, always literal with you. And so I really like that. So from there, Alfred and Batman get a call that there is a disturbance in a big park, like Gotham Central Park. We find 2 runners who are being chased down by a gang called the Creeps, who look sort of kind of like the Jokers from
I was about to
Batman
say,
Beyond.
Are the Creeps, and this could just be my brain not braining right now, because when I was reading the issue, I was like, because there's a specific thing that happens in the next page that made me wonder, like, is there context for why this works right here? Because in the next page, Bruce runs them over with the Batmobile. I was like, are they zombies? And so he knows that they're not gonna die? Or are we just like, we're Batman Arkham Asylum this, and so I'm just like, I'm gonna drift right into these motherfuckers.
I think that's what it was, because like I had the same reaction in this page turn here as like we do an absolute Batman. Like I flipped it, I was like laughing, I was like, holy shit, like, oh, he just like,
it's just freaking Tokyo drifting in their asses. I was like, what the hell is happening right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just supposed to roll with it and be like, yeah, he drifted. It wasn't that hard. Or we just go by the Grant Morrison rules and be like, it's comics. But yeah, I definitely was like,
and
holy
honestly,
shit.
If that's the explanation and they say, guys, he didn't kill him, it's cause comics.
Yeah.
I'm willing to write that off as cause comics. Because
I'll
this
roll
is
with
comics.
That. Yeah.
I just like, when I saw it initially, because I couldn't remember if there was something specifically about this gang, the Creeps. I'm like, is this, because I was struggling to remember if they were a gang that I'd seen before. And I was like, are they?
I think they're new. Unless they showed up in that last bit we didn't read, I don't think we've seen these people before. Like I've got no reference for them in my head at all. Like you, I jumped to the Jokers. So I think this was just a part of that like resetting or that reframing, right? Like, oh, here's just another gang in Gotham, and sort of
which is easily believable enough, right?
And I think it's better than I think it's better to show Gotham has.
Don't make it the Jokers.
Exactly.
I prefer it to not be the Jokers.
Like this shows
I don't want to see or even hear Joker's name for a long time.
Like next year at most, that's when I want to start hearing from him. Like
stop jumping right to a lot of these characters like big bads right off rip. Right?
Then,
like,
hey,
we're 6 issues in. Hey, here's like their biggest adversary. Man, like
Superman and Lex literally just had their big drag down fight after like 4 or 5 issues of All In, which is like, okay, now you're gonna go to War World. All right, I mean, you just beat Lex. Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. Like, 100% there.
Save the arch nemesis, man. Like, that's why they're the arch nemesis. That doesn't mean this isn't Sonic and Dr. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik, depending on what continuity we're talking about, right? Like, he doesn't need to be there literally every episode or every issue. You have a rogues gallery.
Or
use it.
Or like this, you can just make up
some
crime elements.
New ones.
Yeah, it's Gotham.
I hope that for this run, and this first issue gave me a little bit of hope for it, that we're gonna have a bit more of a grounded Batman, which is what Tinian's run started with. It's gonna be grounded. It's gonna have some.
Was it Tom after him?
Well, I say Tinian started with. Because then he jumped into freaking Joker War in the second arc. And I was like,
that's right.
And I was like, so we're just like,
the
we're
War
doing
of
this
Jokes
now.
and Riddles or whatever that was. Or,
no, that was Tom King.
Right, Joker War. Okay, that was, specifically Joker War. Got it. Now I'm
Joker
on track.
War, I've got the hardcover right here. But like, and the art's beautiful in it because it's freaking Jimenez. But that being said, like, guys, like, save the arch nemesis, like build up to that.
You don't always have to go super hard.
I like a grounded Batman with some more detective elements, and this issue gives me hope that that's what we're getting.
Well, that was something I was going to highlight once we got to this page. We've seen it, you viewers, however you guys want to refer to yourselves out there, you've probably seen as we've had pages up, but there
True
are
believers.
true believers. God rest in peace. But like there's a lot more emphasis on Batman being like the tech detective, and in ways that are believable, kind of what we were talking about with his like new utility belt, where he feels like, yes, this is what he would do. He's not Bat God. For example, like right here on this page, when he's going to go after Croc, he activates like a special visor that gives him essentially like detective vision from the Arkham games, but for that
which
specific,
I'm here for.
like, set.
And
Yeah,
makes
exactly.
Sense.
It makes
That's something
sense.
you would expect that in a 2025 Batman book.
And then like, so right here, I loved this so much. I kind of had like a Batman fanboy moment, because what we see here is Batman saves those two women from being assaulted by the creeps. When he's like helping them get up and recover, he notices there's a butterfly on one of them. He picks it up, and right here, a scanner comes out of his fucking thumb on his glove and tells him like, this is what it is. This is where it's being, like, it's in Gotham because of this, da-da-da. And he goes, cool, I'm going to go. He like tells the Batmobile, like through voice command, like, stay here, protect them, meet after. This is how to me, this is what Batgod should be. He should have a gadget for everything, but not like, oh, this is the bat shark repellent, or the bat, I'm going to locate, like this is my instant teleporter. I'm going to scan the butterfly and it's going to shoot me over there. How? Because I'm Batman. Like that. No. Like,
I don't like that in my Batman stories.
I hate that in my Batman stories.
At least not in like Prime Earth Bruce Wayne Batman. If we want to get to, the future Batman Beyond, we can talk some more of that crazy stuff. Or even
if we want to talk like Absolute. That dude's got some crazy ass like gadgets.
He's got some crazy gadgets, but it's all like kind of like hodgepodge together.
True. Yeah.
Scrap,
oh, that's true. Okay, I see where you're coming from. Yes, yes.
That's kind of where I'm going with that. But like when we're talking like grounded, current day Bruce Wayne Batman, don't give me any of that like insane stuff. I know he's got some crazy stuff he doesn't have the Batcave right now.
Which is, but I guess that's what's happened. But yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
He's in Pennyworth Manor now, I guess, is where we're at.
For some, we don't know. That's clearly. Oh no, we do know, right? Like, didn't he like lose control of the company during that all-in run? Like, it got bought by
I know that he was about to get threatened by a supposed like long lost sibling, but I thought we had already resolved that.
We did resolve that. One. Yeah, so that's what I just don't remember if
I feel like there's something that happens right after that you and I are missing.
Yeah, I think so, because I remember that brother guy, which they do reveal, like, I think he's like Bruce's like half or like it got four. There's something that like makes sense. It's not completely ruinous to the canon, and they don't really hug on it, but he does say something like, I just wanted to meet you. I didn't really want to do the lawsuit. Like, they were like dragging me along. I just ended it. So I know that ended, but yeah, there must be something we don't know, because no Wayne Manor, at least. They're in
no Wayne Manor right now, and no Batcave.
But yes, so from there we get Batman going in, still doing his detective thing. He has like an eye scanner that comes out. It analyzes like what's like light spectrum I'm looking at here. It's
full spectrum.
And I really
I like the detective elements here.
Me too.
This is what I'm here for.
I like seeing him actively like use the tool too. Like, we could accept, right? Like, how did Batman find that? We've done this probably a million times on this show. Like, he's Batman.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. But like,
how's Batman?
Right. But this is better. Like, how did he see it? Oh, because we saw him activate the goggles to track it that way.
Yeah, so, show us.
This is also another great like Batman moment. So what happens is he discovers that Killer Croc has busted into the Gotham like Natural History Museum. So he goes in and he discovers that it's pretty much all clear except for one security guard, a mom and her daughter. And the security guard's like, I don't know what to do. Like, come help. And the mom and the daughter are like crying. And then the daughter sees like in panel 5 there, she sees Batman show up, like, and she's happy because she knows, like,
I was gonna say, like, specifically, are you able to zoom in on that panel?
I am. We can do it.
Like, there's still slight fear in her eyes, like this just goes to show, I think, how talented of an artist Jimenez is,
Oh
because
yeah.
you can tell like she's still in a state of distress, but she feels better
There's
now
like
that
she
she's seeing
yeah,
Batman,
like she knows like,
right?
oh, I at least have a chance now, right? Like there's
Right.
some level of hope. Like Batman's here. Remember, like two kids, honestly, that scene in Batman Begins probably hits it perfectly.
Yes.
Like they see him as like an angel. Like does
Yeah.
they don't see him, you know, breaking laws or being a vigilante. Like he's Batman. Like he stops the bad guys. He stops like
They just see
the
hero.
gangsters. Yeah, exactly. So for them, all smiles. But then I also like here Batman, you know, gets like how do you handle the situation as Batman? You don't want to set it off. You don't want the guard to start shooting.
You don't want to startle the guard too much because he's got a gun in his hand. You don't want him to fire the gun and then cause big problems with
and then
Wayland,
Croc
right?
goes off and then everybody's in danger. So he does a sort of like Batman takedown, but you know, he you know, shh, like he tells him like it's me. But so I was thinking this moment through because I was like, what would I do if I was like I get jumped like I jump when my like family comes through my room and I don't hear them with like my headphones. So I was like, if I was in that position, what would I have done? And I'm like, yeah, I totally would have like tried to freak out and I probably would have tried to shoot. Like, of course, it's in my hand. And then I noticed specifically Batman like stops the like ability for him to like pull the trigger. He doesn't like break his hand, but he like moves the grip and like puts his hand in the way and he's like, don't fire. Like you're scaring the kid. And I'm like, dude, that's Batman. Like that's so Batman. It's so good.
Yeah, that's a really great panel right there. I'm sure that was a deliberate panel description by Matt for Action, where he said something to the effect of Bruce twist the guard's wrist in such a way that like he is not able to now pull the trigger. He doesn't have that range of motion with his finger now, right? Because he's trying to de-escalate is what Batman's trying to do here, right? So that
he's not trying to hurt him, because
that's smart writing. That's very smart writing.
It's
and it's in character.
Writing. It really
it's in character. We already know that Batman doesn't like guns, right? But the thing is here, he's not trying to take this security guard down. He's just trying to make sure the security guard, as being a human, doesn't act out in fear and escalate the situation that he's trying to de-escalate.
He knows, he needs to de-escalate it fast, so that's why he surprises him, but he also knows, like, we're on the same side. You're not fighting me, you just need to calm down and let me tell you what's going on. Which Bats kind of does. He tells the guard to get the civilians out of here. Did you notice this, by the way? Let me see. I'm going to go to our full page. Did you notice in this panel, considering what you were saying, how Batman handled the gun?
Yeah, he wouldn't even touch the grip, the handle.
He's
right?
just like
he holds it by the tip of the barrel,
like
right?
a disgusting.
He's like, I don't want to do this.
Like, get it out of my fucking face.
I
very much.
And it's not that he doesn't understand that it is a tool and has its place, but he
just
refuses to be a part of it.
Yeah, like he's just like, nope, not for me. Like
that is his sworn creed. He refuses to have anything to do with it. You know, first few issues of Golden Age aside.
Which, I mean, dude
not
was
the same Batman.
Listen, the Viet Cong were a serious problem. And when Batman got drafted, Batman had to do what Batman had to do. Captain America talks about it all the time.
Golden Age is very different from anything that has come since. All right, especially like first dozen or so issues of Golden Age.
They're pretty damn funny, though. They're pretty damn funny.
I'm all for the freaking electrified shock bat gauntlets, so I'm here for this kind of.
This is what we're talking about, right? He goes, okay, I've got to fight a giant monster. What do? I have like, what do you call these? Like defibrillator, electroshock, like gauntlets. Like, punch him, overload his heart, knock him out, boom, we're good. So I love this here. You know me, I'm a big sucker for like very tech circuit boardy looking things. So seeing that like go up his arm and it stays there. Like when it's activated, there's like one little line of like circuitry. And I'm like, that is such a cool like detail.
That's a great visual.
Because Batman would not be so sloppy as to make it go everywhere. Like that's just not his style.
He's not a Scalpel, or not to the degree of Scalpel that say Cassandra Cain would be.
That's a good point. Yeah, or even like any of the Robins, like technically.
Yeah. Well, especially Damian. I think Damian is the most like Scalpel-esque of them, and that's because of how he was raised, right?
He's an
but
Al-Ghul.
Bruce still isn't about excessive violence. He isn't about like over exaggeration. He isn't about overkill. But he's also not the exact precision that some of these other characters were. He's far more precise than just about anybody else on the Justice
Superman,
League, that's for sure.
Green Lantern, Wally Flash,
for sure.
But like then there's I would say like John Stewart, Barry, Mr. Terrific.
When you start putting him though with some of the other members of the Bat family, or even some other assassins, right?
Oh yeah.
You put him next to like Lady Shiva, right? Some of these other characters that it's
people forget her, and I know she gets sort of like pushed too much, but like Cheshire, she's like really
Cheshire,
she stands up there, not on Kane's level and Shiva, but like she's still up there in the DC fighting pantheon.
For sure.
But yes, so he lights up his gauntlets, which again, just an amazing Jimenez rules. Like just cannot get enough of how this guy does his stuff. But from there, so he goes to confront Croc, and he realizes that Croc has an burst at him, but he's not really attacking him.
It's not like a violent outburst. It's more just like he's whining.
Exactly. So I really do like how
like a toddler.
And I really like how they communicate Bruce's realization here, because we get this awesome panel where he lights up, and we're like, oh, it's time to go. And we get the roar, and he's like, come on, Croc, let's go. But then as he like realizes it, he's sort of like lets it the charge go out of it, and he's like, oh, I don't need to do this. And I'm like,
that was a good subversion of expectations.
So good.
There, right? Because in that page before, we're thinking, all right, we're about to have a knockdown drag out between Bruce and Killer Croc. Bruce has got electrified gauntlets. Let's freaking go. Like, Jimenez can draw an action sequence.
Dude, he's
so incredibly dynamic.
He made that most ridiculous moment of the Zdarsky all-in, where Batman rides a fucking like 747 body onto the streets of Gotham and jumps off of it to clock KG Beast, whatever his name was at the time.
It was like the
Citizen Steel or something. Was that? No, I think that's
forget,
Marvel.
But he was trying to be some sort of patriotic thing, but he was just KG Beast in disguise.
Which they should have fleshed that out more. Again, there's so many. We could destroy that. Like we could go for that arc forever.
That felt like that was not built up towards at all. It just felt like, hey, we don't know what we're doing with this guy yet. Oh, he's actually just KG Beast.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we don't know what we're doing. Oh, we need to wrap this really quick. Who's around?
Yeah.
KG Beast. Yeah, nobody's doing anything with him. Yeah, fucking throw him in there. But yeah,
that's kind of what that felt like, which was super frustrating and underwhelming. And I remember both of us being like, what the hell?
I remember even I was like, I like him, but what the, like, this is not why. Like, who cares about this? Like, this is so dumb.
Virtually every single facet of that arc was just an immense letdown. It was just remarkable.
That first issue, Andrew and I were so stoked. They set up everything so cool. Oh, Riddler's, trying to be like a crypto bro. And,
he's trying to like be on the straight and narrow, even though both of us knew that like that's not gonna last. But like, let's go with it for now.
They didn't even like. But then they didn't even resolve it. Like, we knew it wasn't going to last, but they didn't even make it resolve in a cool way. It was just like, oh yeah, I've been bad the entire time. Teehee. And
yeah, it's just like, which is so and that goes to show like, in order to write characters that are supposed to be like hyper geniuses, you don't necessarily have to be hyper genius, but you can not really write characters that are supposed to be incredibly intelligent if you yourself are not something comparable. Like, you can only write characters about as smart as you are.
And to what Andrew was saying, like, you don't need to be a genius to write genius characters. The trap a lot of them fall into,
to be clever.
Exactly. They're not. They get too hung up on like, this character's smart, and I'm gonna huff, put my dick on the table and have them explain how everything worked. And then you go, that didn't make any sense. Whereas
not only did it make any sense, but the character also wouldn't really do that.
Right, and it breaks like continuity, it breaks canon. Like, what did we just do here? Whereas somebody like a Grant Morrison, I bring him up because of that quote he gives all the time. He would just go, it happened. I'm I'm Mr. Terrific. I created the, this impossible time travel machine. Cool, let's go. But then a dumb writer would be like, I created this machine.
Because I'm Mr. Terrific.
Right, but then they'll go, oh, I created a machine because I bent the tachyons and I did...
Yeah, someone who is a less smart writer will try too hard to explain and often over-explain what the science or the pseudoscience is. And when you do that, you put yourself into a corner that now you get to be because you set the energy, you set the tone. You then get to be critiqued and criticized by people that actually know what they're talking about when it comes to those things, right? That's why I think the sweet spot is to operate within a proper balance of rule of cool and something that plays with science, right? It can be something that maybe, I'm not sure if there's enough information to really say that could be a thing, but because it worked really well in the storytelling and it looked cool, as a person who just wants to be entertained, okay.
That works. Yeah. And with something like Batman, people will fall into that trap more because of that Bat God reputation and that tech gadget. So they'll go, oh, let's explain. A lot of people will take, it speaks to that molding of like, a lot of people wanted to be screenwriters and then they failed at that because they kind of try to make Batman into Bond or in the sense of like Q with his gadgets where, every Bond has that scene where here, Bond, this car key, tap it 3 times and you've got a grenade in your hand, right? Like they explain every gadget, but every gadget in that world isn't off the, like you're not dealing with aliens. You're not dealing with magic and teleportation. So a pen grenade, that makes sense. Once you get over here, you start explaining what Batman's gadgets are. That's where you start, well, how can a man then, be propelled up by a steel cable? But if you just go, it happens, nobody's going to bat an eye. Like 0 people are going to bat an eye.
It's the proper balance of, rule of cool and something that looks like it's believable enough to the naked eye. Right? Like, you don't, as soon as you start going deeper into it, your audience is going to start going deeper into it. And that's what sets yourself up for deeper criticism of what you're attempting to do. And far more often than not, you're not going to measure up.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is this is comics.
And learn them. Yeah. Play within this medium. That's what we were saying about you guys are all writing as screenwriters.
Take advantage of the suspension of disbelief.
Yes.
That people that's who just want to read a cool story are willing to do. But if you bring them down, and I do specifically mean down,
yes, you do,
to that grounded level of all right, now we're going super hard into the science. Well, now you're telling your audience that they need to go super hard into the science. And if they do any due diligence, they're going to find out that you're full of shit.
Very fast. Yeah. And remember, this is a nerd hobby. Nerds read this. And nerds aren't just, Funko Pop collectors. They are scientists and engineers and all those stereotypes hold for a reason. So you're kind of setting yourself up to fail. You're I know what this field is and you don't, but everybody out there absolutely does. For a good lesson in exactly what Andrew's talking about, pick up Rippazine number 5. Coming to you soon. But yeah, so with that, Batman powers down. He realizes that Killer Croc has become something like a child, that his mind is not really, he's not Wayland, he's not Croc, he's reborn. And we get a really good moment here, which again, don't know if it's conscious or AI or hologram or whatever, but we get this throughout the book. Batman has been going, people don't change. This is Croc, he's just Breaking Bad again. And Alfred's kind of been asking him well, do you think that? Do you really think people can't change? And then right here, this is where Batman kind of changes his perspective, because Alfred goes, look at him. And he kind of gets Bruce to take a beat and realize that Croc is not a threat. But then he drives it home. He finishes that 1-2 combo by going, a child scared and alone with nobody to care. Who does that remind you of? Does that not remind you of somebody? And Bruce is yeah, I totally get it. Shit. So we do get this awesome moment where instead of beating up Croc or any of that stuff. He just decals and he kind of just sits with them, kind of just hangs out.
Yeah.
Very
which is like super like this. Trying to figure out how I want to approach this, because symbolically, I actually really like this. I really like this idea that he is letting his guard down, because when you, not, I don't have a child.
Yeah.
However, when you are trying to come down to a child's perspective, and when they're having a moment, right? You try to meet them where they're at, and the only way to really do that in a physical sense for them is to get down physically on their level, right? And kind of look them in the eye. That's, I think, exactly what visually is happening here, because Croc is crouched, right? He's legs on the ground, sprawled out, whatever. Bruce does the same thing. He sits down, crouches, he decowls, like you just said, and that's him trying to meet Waylon where he's at right now, in this very childlike
sits in the
state.
same way. Yeah. Like
at the same time, it's slightly jarring for Bruce to be decowling like that.
That got me too. I was
because
like, do they know each other?
We just had the guard and the mom and daughter, right?
Yeah.
Over here, and it's not like it's been an hour since he told them to piss off, right? It's only been a minute, likely.
Though I will give them this. Like, I'm sure he imagines, like, I told you to run. They are not sticking around for anything. He's probably
right.
You are right that is something he should consider, but I'm going to chalk it up to, like, he understands.
Sure, and that's probably what it is. But
I did get taken aback. So I'm like, oh
yeah, like it's hard for me to believe that Bruce would deliberately decowl anywhere that is not his home base.
Yeah,
he just doesn't do that. We don't see him do that.
He's not
symbolically. I actually love this scene.
No, it's great.
I think symbolically it makes perfect sense. Batman mythos and like cowl, secret identity, all of that. Like that's like they're kind of like butting heads right now. Those two ideas.
Yeah.
Right.
But
it works and doesn't work for me in two different reasons.
And I'm actually right there with you. But I did like this little line here where Croc goes like, "You had noon now." And I think I can't tell if he was talking about like the cow. That's what I thought it was. Or he's like, I think
he's talking about his like inside his
okay, because
I think because sometimes children will say things that seem super insightful, and
I think that's what this was.
You can't really explain it because they're at an age where it's like, how would they know that? Like, how would they understand that? But sometimes they'll have this weird sixth sense might not be the correct term, but like this weird inherent thing.
It's their innocence. They don't. When we give advice or when we would say something, we're thinking about 900 things. How is this going to affect your friends or your social life or in the society? The kids are just saying like, I don't know any of that. I just know like life. And so do it, or what? Like, okay, go ask her out. Like, oh shit, yeah, why not? You're right. Yeah, I don't know what I'm getting all up about. So I think that's what you're talking about.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm going for.
Amazing scene. We get them just hanging out. I did like this because it showed that Bruce was still sort of, assessing the situation, because Killer Croc goes, his head up there is like me. And Bruce goes like, what do you mean? You mean a king, like with the crown? And because if he says yes, like that's bad. Like, okay, we're super villaining. But he goes like, no, like scared, hungry, like can't think. And he's like really genuinely like kind of terrified, like a kid who got lost. And with that, we have the team from Arkham finally arriving to, pick him back up. We get a resolution there where Waylon voluntarily goes with the doctor, knows he's like afraid, knows he's scared, wants to go home. This right here, to what you were fucking saying, Andrew, the last interaction they have as Killer Croc is being led out of the museum back to Arkham, he asks them, home now, she help. Who help you? Like talking about his like mental state. And Batman goes, my head is okay, Waylon. I don't need help. And he goes, if you say so.
Yeah, I liked that.
I was like,
oh
God
man,
damn, like,
that was really good because we all know, no, Bruce really isn't okay.
no, he's not
Actually,
okay.
like
As much
this
as
is a
we love
man who is
Batman, yeah, he's a very deeply disturbed man.
he is a man who is always kind of on the brink, and it takes an immense amount of control for him to not go over that edge, right? That's
Yeah.
something that's genuinely interesting and compelling about the character. The fact that it's like, man, like he's been teetering on that edge for a long time now.
And I've always
But
liked it where it's like, if like his, like, everybody says the reasoning, like, oh, if I cross that line, like, I'll just be like them, and like, everybody will fear me, and that's something that I'll have to have on the table. And Batman's like, no, if I kill, it's not stopping. Like, that's it. Like, I'm going full nightmare. Like, it's over for villains and criminals. And I'm Batman. I can't have that. Like, you cannot have evil Batman.
I mean, we've got the dark multiverse variants of him that showcase that to varying degrees, right?
God,
what happens, like, you know what?
The Flash one is still so, he fucking straps Barry to the like hood of his car, and he's like, let's get that Speed Force, bitch.
Man, that's straight up brutal. Like, that's,
I love that one.
You want to see somebody turned into a monster. That's the Dark Knights. That is Bruce turned into a monster.
I think there's a trade out there, guys, that's only there like one shots. If you pick that up, that's a solid, like, even though it's connected to events.
I'm about to do the thing.
There he is. He's about to do the thing.
It's
connected to events, but if you get that trade of just I believe it's like 6 one-shots or 7 for how many nights there were, it's a solid, fun, like, it's kind of like a what if, like a collection of what if, like a what if trade. It's really, really good. There you have it.
The metallic hardcover dust
foil
jacket
embossed ones. And oh yeah, that is embossed, right? That's nice. The chains are embossed too.
No, they are not.
But they're shiny.
Unfortunately, yes, they are. They are metallic. The thing that pissed me off about that whole event thing is, like, well, one, like, the main event, like, the book is larger than the others, so
what the fuck?
It's not the same dimensions, so they did that bullshit, which I hate when they do that already.
But like, it's even worse because they are connected. Like, they're the same fucking event. Like,
well, Dark Days metal, which are the other tie-in issues, that's the same, right? That's the same as the Dark Knights Rising one.
What the fuck?
Then here's the worst part. You ready?
Yeah.
The other tie-ins never got a hardcover.
The Resistance didn't get it. That was a specific thing, though.
The Resistance is strictly trade paperback. Never got a hardcover.
Guys, for those who don't remember, like, the Resistance arc, it was like Green Arrow, Harley Quinn, a Nightwing book, a Teen Titans book.
So this is what they look like lined up.
I don't want to. I'm gonna end the stream. Like, that actually, like, physically makes me uncomfortable. Like, that makes me really upset.
It drives me up the wall on my shelf, man.
But yeah, guys, they did. They said, okay, we're doing these minis and we're doing a couple one shots. That's all we're gonna do, and then we're not gonna overtake your books, like your main books, but we are going to overtake, like, the 4 of them, which were like Teen Titans, Nightwing, Harley Quinn, something. And it was specifically the Resistance, which was them on the streets, helping other people rise up against the Batman Who Laughs. That was like a headline thing. That was like their tie-in miniseries, right? Like for a TV show. And it was a big thing. And I can't believe they didn't hardcover that. It's only like 5 issues. That's a really cheap one to hardcover, like, and it'll sell. I do not understand what the fuck happened there. It
hurts me.
Actually upsetting.
It hurts me so much, man. Because I genuinely, we've talked about it before, I genuinely love that first metal event. It was so much fun. That was the first massive crossover event that I had enjoyed genuinely and sincerely in comics
for like a long,
really long time. Like, super long time.
It's the first one, right, where they have the final battle, and it turns out like Bruce gets like stabbed, but then it's like, oh, I'm a Black Lantern. You didn't know that. Like, is that metal or is that dark metal?
That's death metal.
Oh, death. That's what I meant.
So that's the. I'm pretty sure anyway that's the sequel, death metal, which never should have happened.
Never should have happened. But I do like that moment.
It was a waste. Yeah,
it was always
that moment was cool.
like,
That
oh yeah,
moment was
I'm a
cool,
Black
for sure.
Lantern. But then they never like talked about it. So I'm like, how did he
No.
become that? Like, you don't need to do a mini series, but just how? Like there's a
Dude,
lot of mechanics into being a Black Lantern.
Yeah, it really is.
So, with that, Waylon gives Batman his little dinosaur toy, which is sort of like his therapy toy. He realizes Bruce needs help, gives it to him, which leads us to this awesome little bit where, you know, he's rebuilding his Batcave, his life at Pennyworth, and instead of the big giant dinosaur, now he's got, you know, his little.
He's got the little T-Rex, right?
And
he even remarks like hardly a trophy, right?
some trophy, and he's like,
yeah,
yep, there you go. And then he turns away, and we end up receiving a call from Robin, who is apparently being arrested by the cops. Again, Vandal Savage, remember, is the chief of police, so he's in charge, obviously a villain. We don't know where that's going to go, but that is where we've ended the issue. I think it was pretty solid in it. Like, I think it accomplished everything it went out to do. Like, it resets.
I think it was a really solid setup issue.
I think this is really good.
I think the underlying, if Matt Fraction continues along with this underlying like subplot that's an internal subplot with Bruce while maintaining the kind of more grounded detective stuff that we saw in this issue, I think we might be in for something really fun. And I'm hesitant to be hopeful because that's kind of how I was feeling and hoping that last run that we started with was gonna be, and it wound up not being. My fingers are crossed. I'll wait and see. I'll write out this first arc. We'll see what happens. Do we know how long Fraction is on, or if this is just like an interim thing?
No, it's not interim. It's indefinite for now.
Okay.
But nothing has been said. Okay. It's not like Ultimate Universe where it's like so 24 Fraction, or whatever.
So typically when they do that, that means Fraction is like the main ongoing writer for the series for the foreseeable future, unless something changes.
Okay. We'll probably get a guest issue or artist somewhere down. It happens in comics. Sure. You know, people have lives. They're not machines, except Dan Mora. So, but I still think, like, here's where I get torn, right? Because I go, well, DC made such a big hubbubaloo about this. They can't go back on it. But they also made a big fucking hubbubaloo about All In.
They did. And I feel like we got away from All In real fast.
This has the tag. Like on the bottom. Oh shoot, I'm not on the right page.
Does it?
It has the tag on the bottom.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
But nothing's really interconnected about all of this anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say this feels so disconnected from the other stuff. Like at least from what we remember of it.
Well, the only stuff that really carries over here from All In is you're in Gotham. That's really all we've got here.
Yeah.
But I will say there is something I read a little earlier today from PKJ where he said what he's aiming for with these issues is to give sort of what you and I have been advocating for a long time. Each issue is going to be it will be a self-contained story. You can pick it up and get your resolution there. But it's also got, you know, an overarching, or not overarching, but it'll tease you as to what is coming, kind of what we got here, right? We had our Croc story, it got a resolution. Then we went, what's happening? Robin's arrested. Next issue, we'll deal with that, and then we'll probably get another end sting there, move forward. So it's very Superman Unlimited-y. I did see Subhuman says it completely ignores Hush 2, which, for the better, but also
that's fine.
I think just publishing wise, like that's the smarter move because it lets you can play it more easily. And if this is supposed to be like a jump on thing for people, you do not want them going like, why is Jason Todd here and the Joker? Because, go read first 6 issues of Hush 2. You'll get the next 6 sometime next year. Who knows when? Yeah. So
that's a great way to make nobody care.
Nobody care. And then, Mike, just one last note. You said, I think it would be cool to have Batman more like Ethan Hunt. Lots of gadgets, but frequently put in situations where they fail, meaning he has to think on the fly. I think that's what we're getting here. I genuinely think
that might be the direction that we're kind of moving in, and I'm okay with that. But I'm also a massive Mission Impossible fan, so that's my favorite movie franchise.
Yeah.
Out of my top 3, that's my number 1.
Mike brings up that scene, and I'm instantly reminded of the shot I'm always talking about, where from Zdarsky's run, where Bat's like was falling back from like the atmosphere and has to like he takes his cape and he uses his like shorts and he like like rejiggers his like bat grapple to like be like a hook. Like it's so good, and that's Mission Impossible to me. So we've been going that way more over the years, and so I think this is just going to really drive that home. And if they can keep this up, I'm excited. But yeah,
I'm here for it.
I'm right there with you, man. Every time that leaves my mouth, I'm like, but we literally have been here with the same book in the same position, like
not even a year ago.
I was gonna say like so recently too. So hopefully we can get some more out of this, Matt Fraction. I actually do like you when you can deliver, and I think you're delivering here. So I'm
the first issue was really good.
I'm really on board.
I'm on board based on this first issue for sure.
You could do a Batman short movie off of this like one issue alone. Like it's it's good, guys. So hats off to Fraction.
This is like a really good episode of the animated series.
That's actually a perfect way to put it. And then they add on it was imported from Japan, so they had to put on the stinger at the end. That's next time on Batman, and that's when we see Robin with his arms up.
Next time on the Batman.
Bruce, are you there? Pick up. What? Robin arrested. Like dun dun dun. I can totally see it in my head. But that is it for Batman tonight. I think that's also probably it for the DCU. There's like we said, House of L. We'll probably get to it eventually. It's fun from that first issue. We got more Absolute Superman and Wonder Woman, but probably better to hit those when the next issues come out, since they're sort of developing things. Like we're in the middle of getting to that next big plot point. So
a lot of this week's issue of Absolute Superman was the same thing happening over and over in slightly different ways. So not a lot actually happens. So it's something that we can easily tack on to the next issue.
We really, when we talk next issue, we really just need to give you like a brief update as to like the framing device of that issue.
Yeah. It's like, here's 5 minutes of what happened last issue.
Hopefully
here's a lot more of what happens this one.
But with that note, let's we'll leave behind the DCU. Let's hop on over to Marvel. We have two. All right, so if you guys
this book is so good.
That's pretty much all I was gonna say.
This book is so good.
If you've followed this show, you'll know that we have been ranting and raving about this book since issue 1.
This is my favorite Marvel book right now.
It's kind of, well, aside from like the Ultimate stuff, like I think this might be.
Okay, so not counting Ultimate Spider-Man. I will not count Ultimate Spider-Man. That's unfair.
Right.
Counting Ultimate Spider-Man, this is my favorite Marvel book. But counting all the other Ultimate books, this is my favorite Marvel book.
Well, I'll put X-Men up there with Spider-Man, but then it's those two. Ultimate X-Men, obviously, not core X-Men.
Yeah.
That book is very bad. But it's those two Ultimates and then All New Venom. Like I get giddy going like, oh yeah, we got a Venom this week. Like
I genuinely
want to see.
How often, even like Year of Our Lord 2025, with genuinely like a handful of really good books, more or less, from both main publishers, right? The big two.
Yeah, the big two.
How often, even that taken into account, do we get giddy when we realize there's a new issue of something? Like Ultimate Spider-Man is kind of a foregone conclusion, right? Like we're always excited for a new Ultimate Spider-Man.
But that's exactly it. Like we know it's going to be good. So
yeah, it's just like it's another Ultimate Spider-Man. Awesome, this is going to be amazing.
Not bad. It's just we know. But then here, like this honestly probably came out of nowhere for both of us. Like
because we were super unsure going into this, because coming out of the
Venom War.
Ebon War, right?
Yeah,
we were like,
War.
Okay, so like some of it was like really, really good. Others, like some of the other spinoffs were like, why?
And then the ending was sort of like, oh, what are we, like Eddie's with Carnage? I don't know about that.
And we were super unsure coming out of that event of the future of just like the symbiote related characters. And ironically enough, Eddie Brock Carnage has been, even though the pacing has been a little slow for my taste sometimes,
I agree with that.
The storytelling is still really, really good.
And it's like you and I have said, like that Eddie Brock Carnage, guys, in a trade is going to be amazing.
The pacing of that thing in a trade, that I think, you said it perfect. I think that story is being written for trade.
I think so too.
And
I would.
There's arguments for and against doing that, because you want people to be excited issue to issue, but I think I'm able to suspend enough of the realization that like this is clearly being paced to like read all 6 issues in one hit.
Like that also is happening here. because it's a rare case of them, like, we genuinely don't know how this is going to be received. So, like, here, if you write for the trade, then at least the trade is going to feel complete, right? Like, maybe they didn't know they were going to go past 6 issues. I mean, because it's a hard sell.
It was a hard sell for us, right? And then we read the first issue and we were like, oh.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, let's see where it goes. But all new Venom has been a gem.
From its writing, from its treatment of all of its characters, to
Carlos Gomez's art. His MJ is never not the hottest thing in comics.
Like, to the point, guys, like, okay, this cover right here, this is Adam Kubert. Great artist. We know him.
Oh,
this
incredible.
is an objectively good cover, an objectively good looking MJ. But then you open this book and you see like where's a good shot of MJ? Like MJ. And you're like,
and she's just wearing a business suit there, and she looks like she's the hottest thing on the planet.
Her favorite suit for meetings is what she said. And I read that line and I'm like, I can't go into that negotiation. Like, you win. Like,
you win.
It's not happening here.
It's Jar Jar in episode 1.
Yep. Misa vote to give power to Senator Palpatine. Like, right there, immediately, MJ.
Yeah.
Like,
white flag. I'm done. I'm good. Call me cooked.
Like,
right?
I will. You want to go overturn the whatever the amendment it is that limits us to 2 presidential terms? Like, I'll do that for you. Like, I will do it.
You get 3 or 4. It's fine. It's cool. I'm good with it.
Everybody else gets a limit. You can do as much as you want. You can be president for as long as you want, MJ.
Yeah, until the day that you die. It's fine.
Yeah. But guys. So just an amazing book. In general, if you guys remember where we left off last time, we're in 2 sort of stories right now. We've got MJ, Paul, and Dylan dealing with the Venom stuff, and then we have the rest of the ragtag symbiote gang. We have Sleeper.
I like that we're bouncing back a little more frequently.
I do too.
To Flash Thompson and the rest of the symbiotes. Like, I really like that because I really love Flash Thompson.
I really like Flash Thompson. I'm just loving everything about this little like team up. Even Rick, like I'm loving Rick being here. He's
who, if somebody had asked us like 2 years ago, hey, would you be excited about Rick being in a Venom book and like a fairly prominent side character?
We would have been like, okay, like whatever.
Like, how is that a sell? Right?
Like, he's been in everything. Like, what does it matter? Oh, it's Rick Jones. He's Rick Jones. Great. Like, he got replaced by Bucky. Like, I'm sorry.
He's
like,
generic, not Peter Parker, right? Like,
that actually is the best. That is actually what I meant to say, and I'm glad you said that. Rick was supposed to be that like teen hero prototype, which is why he's always like a sidekick to everybody and always getting those powers. But yeah, Stan and Steve came out with Spider-Man, and just it was over. Like that was teenager archetype from there on out. So if you guys remember, we just broke out of the Scar containment facility where all the symbiotes, or rather Toxin and Sleeper and technically Flash, because he was like their caretaker, they were all in this facility, which was under observation, part of the fallout from Ebon War, yada, yada, yada. Go watch our old episodes, even though you've already seen them, because I know you've already all watched them many, many times on repeat. But last issue, they beat Dr. Octopus, they made a jailbreak, and that is where we pick right back up with them. If you guys remember, Flash is looking a little different here because he bonded last issue with the Toxin symbiote. He retracted all of the anti-venom into his body and said, this is how we're getting out of here.
Like deep into his blood cells, which is like, and I think I mentioned this last episode. That's really a highlight of how much experience and control he has with the symbiotes compared to any other host we've seen. Like, Eddie doesn't have that.
No,
Peter doesn't have that. Dylan sure doesn't have that.
Like, you know, these hosts can obviously like change their clothes but they're not pulling it inside of they're not hiding it, essentially. Like, it's always there. Yeah,
because Flash, to this point, like, he decided to save the Toxin symbiote. He decided to go, okay, I will host you for the time being, right? But we know Eddie Flash is anti-venom. He's Agent Anti-Venom. anti-venom is a death sentence for normal symbiotes.
Right there in the name. It's the anti-venom. It's not the opposite venom, guys. It is the cure to venom. That is what anti-venom is.
It's going to kill them, right? And so we saw last issue that Flash like receded and like drew in the anti-venom symbiote to just like a deep cellular level such that he could still take on the toxin symbiote here and then be okay, at least for a time. We do find out here that it's like, all right, man, like, I'm getting a little warm.
we immediately, it is kind of a bummer because I really do like that anti-agent venom design, but it's literally about a page or two that he gets to be in the symbiote. He, as soon as they get a breather, as soon as they're out of Ox range, Toxin starts feeling the heat. It burns. Again, Flash is bonded with this anti-symbiote, right? It's not just like a suit, like Peter. This is his body, his blood. He is that creature. So, like Andrew was saying, as much as he can pull it in, it's always going to be like kind of there at the surface. And for Toxin, who at this point, as Sleeper explains, like he is so
he's
weak,
already super weakened.
Yeah, he hasn't been bonded to his host for a long time now. Actually, like in real time years, it's been about 5 or 6 that Toxin has just been in a lab. So he's got nothing. And as Sleeper explains, symbiotes need like, they can get the chemicals from like brains and chocolate, as we see all the time, but they need that connection. We know this. They say this all the time, but this is him kind of telling it to Rick and Flash, like, they need that emotional spot. Like we are I love the line. He's like, we're the only species that can die of loneliness. And it's
that's freaking wild, man.
Yeah. Oh, also, still messing up the pages on the digital. I don't know what the hell is up with this. Like,
crazy. How are they still doing that?
Every issue of this, guys, this recap page has like the layers mislayered. So like it's all there, but things that are supposed to be in the back are all the way at the front. So
that is baffling to me that they haven't figured that out yet.
It's every issue. It's so weird. You guys might remember, if you've been a long time viewer, after issue like 2 or 3, I was like, is your book like this? Is this a gimmick? And Andrew was like, what are you talking about? And nope, like, it is just the digital too.
The physical versions, it's not like that at all.
Which is like the opposite of the Incursion one, where the physicals were messed up, but the digitals were fine. So we also going back over to MJ, if you guys remember, MJ and Paul. Well, MJ called it quits. They are over. We basically get a breakdown of where they're coming from, what they're feeling, and MJ kind of explains to Paul that she's not like actively, like she's afraid of him. Not that like, oh, I'm gonna come home every day and you're angry and you're gonna hit me or whatever, but she sees that in him from her dad, who we in every depiction he is that asshole. I mean, if you saw only the Raimi films, he's like yelling at her every time Peter talks to her over the fence.
MJ does not have a good father.
Not at all. If anybody here has read Invincible, she's actually got a father very comparable to Adam Eve's. If anybody there has read that, but so she kind of tells Paul like, I can't do this. Like, it's not healthy for me. I don't want to live in that fear. And so she's like, we just got to like break up. So to Paul's credit, or more to Al Ewing's credit, right? Like, he's making Paul handle this like a normal, actually pretty maturely. Like, he's like, okay, like, yeah, it sucks, but okay.
Maturely-ish, yeah.
Yeah, maturely-ish. Like, of course he's going to be heartbroken and a little like, wow, this sucks, because nobody likes being dumped.
No.
But he's not being the whiny man-child we all would have sort of assumed. However, as soon as they resolve that, Dylan bursts in the room, and it's time for more family drama, because we haven't checked back in with him ever since he found out that MJ is Venom. So they blow up.
Which was what, 2 issues ago?
2 or 3, yeah. Like, not super recent, but then like not forever ago. So a good amount of suspenseful time. But we, we get that kind of classic, father, son, I'm angry at my parent, like, I'm trying to do what's best for you sort of talk, like very,
but teenager doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah, like 90s, like sitcom moment, like Eric Foreman and Red having a good like chat for once. Like it's that kind of moment. And it is actually really good because First of all,
That
shout out
panel
to
right
this
there is
dude.
great.
I
That
fucking
panel's
love
so
this
good.
so much.
I want
like,
that without any of the sound effects.
I tried so hard to make this our thumbnail, but it just doesn't fit in our angles with all the boxes in it. And I was just like, damn, but
it looks so good.
So good. Make this like a variant cover. Like I would buy that in a heartbeat. But yeah, basically we get the sort of classic, like, why did you abandon me? Why didn't you tell me anything? Why didn't you why don't you want me, man? And Venom basically goes, look, I love you. I thought I was just doing what was best for you. Here is the situation, which that's what makes this one really hard, right? Like Venom did do the right thing, and that it was objectively what you needed to do. And and Dylan probably does understand that, but there's emotion. Like that doesn't
on an intellectual level, he probably
on like a
understands
logical
it, but
level,
on an
he's like,
emotional level, throw it all out the window, right?
And you know what? He's a teenager. Perfect. Like this is what he should be doing. And so he you know, classic teenager, he runs off, slams the door. He's gonna go, you know, get some fresh air. Venom goes out, you know, MJ, everybody's like, all right, let's just clear our heads. MJ's gonna go out patrolling, Paul's gonna hang out. And so Venom and MJ take off, and then MJ hits the symbiote with like, well, now that we're all talking, you and I need to have a talk. So this
was something we've been waiting for
the
entire run. Well, okay, so not the entire run, but ever since the reveal of
that MJ was Venom.
Being bonded with Venom. This is what we're like, because we even on the episode where it was revealed, like we were like, all right, so like this means this, and this. Like if we're doing this, right? Like all of these things have to be taken into account, and this is some serious business.
And you and I would raise like, okay, this is so good. Like Ewing's got this, but he's got it. Like you can't ignore this. Like this is fundamental, foundational.
Have to address this,
right?
You don't get to ignore this. Yeah, exactly.
So what Andrew and I are talking about is MJ and Venom sort of go into their mind palace, if you will, which is incredibly like, Gomez, I love you at art, man. Like you're so good. But basically,
dude, that partial splash there, man, he perfectly recreated in his own style.
I know
that exact panel.
Which, if you guys don't remember, this is the panel from the end of, I believe it's Amazing Spider-Man 300, where MJ comes home at night, like thinks Peter is home. Who's there? Like, Peter, is that you? Hi, honey. I'm home. And it's Venom, because he just like, he knows him, like he knows everything. And that is that sets MJ off to, like, she gets terrified of Venom, of symbiotes. That's actually what gets Peter to give up the black suit, because if you guys remember, he gave up the symbiote, but he was wearing the black as like a normal suit. MJ got to the point where she's like, I can't even look at you like that. I'm just so absolutely terrified of that black thing. I need it gone. Like it was traumatizing to her. This was you know,
she couldn't even look at the black suit after that.
Like she was,
even though it wasn't the symbiote, like,
and she knew that. Yeah,
she could not deal with it.
Kind of like what we were talking about with Dylan.
Trying to put yourself in her shoes there, like there's trauma there, right?
There's a lot of trauma there. So that's what Andrew and I have been waiting for. Like, you've got to address this. That moment is so foundational to what MJ and Venom and Peter, like that triangle is.
It's foundational to this bonding, this pairing working, even though it's meant to be temporary. We know it's meant to be temporary. Anybody who pretended that it wasn't is an idiot and doesn't read comics.
Yeah, whether this ended up with Robbie or Rick or Luke, like this was always going to be temporary.
This was always going to be temporary, right? But the fact of the matter is, like, if this was the route you're going to take, you have to address this in order for it to work, because there's too much history there, and it's that history that makes this route super
so
interesting.
Intriguing. Yeah,
right.
You're like, wow, what would have driven MJ to bond? And we learned,
but it was predicated on you addressing it and acknowledging, like, yeah, this is a thing.
So, as MJ pulls in the symbiote, they basically have a talk about, you know, who is the host? What is going on here? You need to explain to me what the nature of symbiotes is. And the symbiote basically explains that, you know, I do love Eddie. Like, I still miss Eddie. I really want to bond back with him. I know MJ, like she tells him, or the symbiote tells MJ, like all that Venom stuff, that was Eddie, but he's changed. Like I want to go back to him, and it's kind of, it was at least on my end, like kind of hard to read this in a sense because it's like, it's very much the battered spouse like scenario, right? Like that guy's awful. Like he's so bad. Don't go back to him. You can do better. Look, you've been bonded to Flash. You've been bonded to me. You've been bonded to, I guess it's probably the only two good ones, or Dylan. So like you've got good inspirations. You don't have to do that.
Briefly,
but I'm gonna go back to him, right? Like, but what made it even harder is like the symbiote's right. So like, how do you, like for MJ, she's only seeing the battered spouse angle. Of course she's gonna take that route.
Well, because that's the thing about sentient beings and being human. Like our experiences are formative to us, right? And so we can only operate off of what we've experienced and what we know. And as far as MJ has experienced and what she knows, Venom, and now that she knows that it was Eddie, and I don't know if I'm tripping. Does she not know it was Eddie in the Venom?
No. Okay, so
prior to this,
she knows that. What the symbiote's explaining, the
at
question was
that moment.
Well, no, the question was,
or
who
is she
was
asking,
in control?
Like, who was in control?
That's what it was. She's asking like, do I need to be afraid of you?
Who was in the driver's seat?
Exactly.
Right?
That's what she's asking. And so the symbiote's going, it was Eddie. It was not me, which is like even worse to MJ because it's like, oh, I could have blamed this on alien goo. But that was the man in the suit. Like, okay. But her being connected, she realizes, like, I see this, I know this. Why are you still, like, begging for him in your heart, like, to come back to him? And, yeah, that's where we get the, you know.
I mean, and we know that Eddie has changed.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what makes it so hard is, like, I can see where MJ's coming from, but she doesn't have the full facts. But the symbiote, how do you sell that to anybody? We can only operate
off of information that we have, not information we don't have.
And is she, like, we know Eddie has changed. Is she supposed to believe anything the symbiote's saying? Not really.
Why would she?
Why exactly?
Like, literally, why would she? Even though she's been an effective vigilante, for lack of a better term, like bonded with the Venom symbiote, like still, why would she actually trust him on that level with something that's regarding one of the most traumatic moments,
right,
and scary moments of her life?
Yeah, not just not just in her interactions with Venom. Like this is of her life.
Yeah, like the entirety of her life. There's such good tension and attention to detail and character building here.
Dude, I also just want to highlight this because this is sort of a big twist reveal. If you guys remember, when the symbiote and MJ talked about how they bonded, the symbiote told Paul and Robbie and MJ that his motivation in bonding with MJ was like,
what would Spider-Man do?
What would Peter do? And here he admits like that was just for Robbie's benefit. Because he goes, you know what Peter Parker did when he found out I was a living creature? He imprisoned me, and then he tried to kill us. He tried to sacrifice his own life to make me die. So when I saved our lives, like yours and mine, MJ, I wasn't doing what Spider-Man would do. I was doing what Eddie did for me, like taking like the symbiote saw she needed help, and just like, you know, I can do that,
and that's a super interesting development on that too. It's weird, but also super interesting pairing that with what we just read only a handful of months ago in Venom War Spider-Man, right? Where like the Venom symbiote was like vibing with Peter there, right? And it was like, wow, like this actually kind of works still, right? So I'm curious to know, because there's a real juxtaposition there in mentalities, right? From what he's saying here, and that there's clearly some hurt there.
Yeah.
But contrasting that against what we saw in Ebon War, right? And where the Venom symbiote was clearly like, man, I really like being bonded to Peter again.
To that,
and you could still easily sell me but Eddie is my actual host, right? Like my true host, but Peter, like we still really work well.
Like you
can sell me that easily enough.
Kind of like that sense of like, this is my wife, but you can't help it. I have this sexual chemistry with somebody I used to date, I will go out of my way to like not be around them because I know that that exists. But it's something we have to deal with, like in this moment.
Sure. That's a good way to put that, actually. That's a really good way to put that.
So from there, but what I really like about this, they're laying everything out on the table. MJ, like, understandably, is not buying it. She's like, no, this is bullshit. Like,
she's not about it at all.
She is like, I do not.
And why would she be?
Exactly. No, she's like, I'm not. Nope. And that makes sense. But then that like makes me kind of hurt for the symbiote because, to your point, imagine being a symbiote. It's got to be so confused in life, like, especially if a symbiote's only supposed to bond to one person. Like, that's what Clintar lore is.
And Venom, the Venom symbiote has bonded to
pretty much everyone in the MCU.
I'm going to ignore. So we'll just talk about the main ones.
Okay.
But I'm going to ignore the bullshit retcon where they said he bonded to Deadpool.
Because
I thought that was completely retarded.
Wars, yeah.
I hated that, actually. I was like, no, stop trying to be cute.
Stop
that's
being
stupid,
yeah,
actually.
Like, exactly. Stop being cute. That's what it was.
Yeah,
like, we know what you're doing here.
You're just trying to be super memey and just insert Deadpool and everything because the movies are making a bunch of money. Piss off completely.
Bingo.
Like,
it was
all
really
the way.
stupid. Even though like I kind of liked that mini, but it shouldn't have been canon. Like, or like have any canonicity. It was a battle world thing. Like, keep it battle world.
It should have had zero canonicity to it. Peter, Eddie, Lee Price,
Mac, Scorpion,
Mac Gargan, Flash, Dylan, MJ are the main ones that come to mind for me. Obviously, there have been instances where it's like he's temporarily bonded with others. But as far as like main ones where it's not just a moment of convenience,
there's one. Okay, I don't know if I really would weigh in on this on where you would place this, because if you remember,
hit me.
There was a brief moment where they gave the symbiote to like an Italian mobster's son, or like Marvel gave it to him, and he was like Venom for like a issue or two, and then it went to Mac. And the way they did the transition was this guy is like jumping from roof to roof, and the symbiote just bounces like mid jump, and the dude just goes whoop, and it goes out, and I think at that point it like crawls into Mac's like jail cell or something. And
I remember that feeling like they didn't know how. They knew what point B was and they knew what point A was, but they didn't know how they wanted to go from point A to point B. So they just said, we're doing this.
See, I actually feel like it was the opposite, where they were like, we want a new Venom, and they tried that guy, and they went like, oh, genuinely zero, negative 50 people care about this host, and they went like, what do we do? Who can we give it to? And that's when you pull out your Rolodex, and you're like, who is not doing anything right now? Scorpion.
Who's free?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
But that's how But would you count him as a real host? Like I don't. But like narratively, he is supposed to be.
It like canonically happens, right? It's one of those things where, again, that's why I kind of prefaced it and specified like. Right. Ones that like had him for any like actual significant length of time that felt like, all right, this is what we're doing at least for the time being.
Yeah,
rather than like,
and that's where like
the beat in between lines.
And that's where like that divergence comes, because like I genuinely think in that first issue that was the point, but maybe then they immediately was like, nope, like we gotta go. So like it was short, but they meant for it to be forever.
Maybe you're right.
That's why I was like, where do you count him? I still wouldn't main count him, but mention him like, you know. Hang a plaque above the bathroom. I don't know. Like he's around.
He did have the symbiote for a minute.
He was technically Venom.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
But adding to that, like you know, he's confused. He's bonded to like so many people. He's taking in so many influences, evil and good and anti-hero and military and civil, like all this stuff.
He's been like, all over the spectrum.
It's got to be hard for him to be like, yeah, like I do want to do good. Yeah, that was me. Like, but I've changed, and I genuinely have. Like, it's crazy. But then we end this conversation on actually a pretty sad note. Like, this kind of hurt my heart.
Super sad. I forgot, or like, we're not actually friends, or something like that.
Because
right?
MJ, after this talk, she realizes like, well, if you're still in love with Eddie, we got to look about getting you two back together and getting me out of here. And like soon, and the symbiote realizes like, oh yeah, We're not friends.
And I want
I keep
to
forgetting that,
quickly
and I'm just like,
clarify this,
God
and this is
damn.
something that I remember being a point of contention around the Donny Cates era when he was writing Venom,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember Donny Cates actually getting like threats over this because there were weirdos online, and there's always weirdos
Always,
online.
yeah.
There were people like the weird kind of like fetish weirdos that wanted it to be like a sexual specifically
I
thing
remember that, yeah.
between Venom and Eddie, when like anybody who actually understands interpersonal relationships, and unfortunately that's not that many
It's not
people,
a
it
lot
seems like these
anymore,
days.
yeah.
Sadly, like as soon as those words left my mouth, I was
You're
like,
like,
wow,
huh.
that feels like
Yeah.
it's an increasingly decreasing group of people on the
Like,
planet.
I meant that as a minority, but I think that might be the majority.
Having love for a person isn't always a romantic or a sexual thing. Having love for somebody as somebody whom you genuinely care about, whom you would be willing to sacrifice yourself for, that's love,
And well, so,
right?
I
And
agree. Yeah.
there's this special bond between the Venom symbiote and Eddie because they've been bonding for so freaking long, where
Yeah.
they are like I would, for my closest friends, I would lay down my life. I would say I love my friends,
Yeah.
right? I would be willing to take a bullet for them. I would be willing to whatever it is that's necessary,
Right.
right? And I would say that's because I love my friends. I love the people who are close to me. There was a weird like contingent of people who wanted to make it like
Yeah.
super adult and sexual, which
Outwardly,
is like
yeah.
weird. Like, why do people on the internet have to be the way that they
I
are,
don't
type of a
know.
thing?
Like, it's not new, but why do people have to be like this?
Yeah,
Just stop.
but the Venom symbiote has this connection with Eddie specifically, that even though he's bonded very strongly before to, I mean, we just saw an Ebon War, he clearly still has a connection with Peter. He had
With
an
Flash
immensely
and
strong connection with Flash. Like, that was honestly, that was almost the character at my favorite. Like, I loved that
it's
run.
up there. That run is so damn good. And
Agent Venom
anything
is just,
and kind of anything they dropped him in that era, like he was
yeah.
like Secret Avengers, he was fun.
Yeah, and I think most of the characters like best growth probably came out of that era too.
Oh,
Honestly, like
absolutely.
any of the stuff that we're talking about here, where the symbiote's talking about, I've changed, I've grown, right? I understand things differently. I think I would attribute a lot of that, ironically enough, to his time being bonded with Flash. Like, I think he
Right.
learned a lot of that from that time, from that era, and that's something special. Um, it's I hope that Al Ewing here keeps honing in on this bond that he has with Eddie, because I do ultimately think we're going to get whether it's an event, it'll
Well,
probably be event.
no. I mean, no's literally
Yeah.
it's gonna be that. Or if it not
I
if it
think
doesn't happen in Venom 250, it'll set up there. Like,
I think that you know what, you're right on the money now that you just reminded me of that. I think at some
MJ
point
and
during
Eddie will
this
be on
coming,
panel together at some point.
yeah, there's going to be some sort of an event moment where Venom winds up getting bonded back with Eddie. I'm more curious because I think that's a foregone conclusion, right? I think ultimately Venom and Eddie are going to be a thing again. But
Yeah.
what's going to happen with Carnage? What are they going to do with him?
Bond him to somebody. Like, it's a good. Here's where I'm confused, and I can't really even speculate. They've kind of just already done everything these last like 10 years with Venom. Like, they took him from I'm murdery Venom to like I'm God. He literally had an arc, like his most recent thing, where he travels through the multiverse, killing Carnages to make himself stronger, to the point where like he's no longer weak to fire or sonics or anything. Like, he becomes like the King in Red, or I think is actually what he calls himself.
Yeah,
and
the
he
King
fights
in Red,
Eddie. Like, and like through that, he didn't have a host. He had abandoned Cletus, so it could really be anything. There's nothing I feel like they haven't done yet where I'm like, oh, that could be a thing. But it's like, this is where, yeah, hit me.
I'm of two minds here, and track with me.
Yeah, I'm right here.
I feel like, and one of these is kind of out there, I think the more likely scenario is you're going to have some sort of an instance in this upcoming. There's going to be an event that involves Null. It's
Of course.
inevitable.
Yeah.
And Null isn't just going to come back in the solo Venom book and that be that. You don't do that with a villain like Null.
No.
Null is a crossover event.
He'll be in Amazing. Villain. He'll be in Carnage. He'll be in here. He'll be in. I think that's all that's mainly running right now for this.
I think so.
Line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
He'll be in all of those. Probably get like an Avengers No Return, like one shot or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that always happens.
I'd honestly prefer to keep it within the
I would too.
Spider Family books, but they will probably.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm just going off of like we know what they do.
I mean, we got freaking Venom War Wolverine, which meant nothing to the rest of the event, right?
And it's so
same
ugly.
with the Deadpool one.
It's so ugly. Kev Walker,
gross.
man.
Except for like the body horror.
Except for the symbiotes,
like.
But then, like Wolverine looks like a potato. Like it was just super bad.
It was no good.
It was no Carlos Gomez.
I'm thinking we'll get some sort of a knockdown drag out between Carnage, Venom, and Null. And it's going to involve, I think it would be fun to have this weird like swapping thing where, because both Carnage and Venom have a beef against Null. Neither of them like him, right?
Right.
I think it would be interesting to have this weird like 3-way battle,
dude,
where you've got
Peter in there.
Yeah. Oh man. Yes.
Peter has to team up with Venom and Carnage?
Oh, we've never...
I was gonna say, like, how is that? That actually... what the fuck? How's that not been done?
We've never had that happen.
Never had that happen.
We've never had that happen.
I think
that would be interesting. And you would just... Yeah, maybe we did. The only way I think to really do that would be... You would have to have Peter... Whoever's writing that issue or the event, you would have to really hone in on how much Peter's hurting from being separated from MJ. You would have to, if I was writing it, not that I'm an amazing writer or anything.
You were about to say not that I'm a professional writer, but your ass is now. I heard that.
Yeah. Pre-order Rippazine number 5. I would hone in on that, the separation anxiety bit of it, right? I would hone in on the loneliness part of it, because if somebody has any two wits about them, there's this deep separation anxiety and loneliness within both Peter and MJ for each other. It's a longing for each other, and so leverage that. Use the even like the pent up frustration and maybe even anger that comes from that. That's something that Carnage would try and take advantage of, and maybe he tries to take advantage of it from both of them. So maybe we see Carnage try and bond temporarily with Peter. Maybe we see him temporarily try and bond with MJ. And sick. So we've just got this
Flash. No, like he will bond with Flash to fuck with Eddie, because he'll go, I don't have any of my weaknesses anymore. Like, he still is that god card. Like, he literally just said, I'm bored. That is literally how that ended. He said, I'm bored. He threw away the Necrosphere into, like, the ether. Like, it's out there in the universe somewhere. And he just went back to Cletus. So, I don't have any weaknesses. How do I fuck with both of you? Or all three of you if Peter's there? Flash. Right? Like, Flash is the only other, like, Venom host that Eddie has ever respected or even had, like, a friendship with. MJ, as we see in like the next page, is starting to have like, well, she's been friends with him forever, but she's got some weird like unresolved, unrequited
there
feelings,
might be
maybe.
some sort of tension there. So right? Like, I think they're doing the kind of melodrama thing.
I definitely think they are, and I like it because I'm like, oh, this is such classic Spider-Man. Like, oh, this is awesome. Like, but no, I definitely think I can see the Carnage bonding to Spidey, to everybody, like jumping around kind of. So while you were speaking, or like when you were telling me your theory, it sparked this idea in my head, because you were talking about, you know, the loneliness and the separation anxiety. And I do think like yes, hit it. I'm totally on board there. To add to that, this is like, that to me seems like where you could go with the resolution, where you have, you hone in on all that, you explore all that without, and you're exploring it by host. So like by Peter, by Eddie, by Flash.
Exactly. Like add a bunch, like when I was talking about like him going back and forth with
Yeah.
both the Venom symbiote and the Carnage symbiote, like
that'd be so
do
cool.
some like really deep psychological internal dialogue between the two, right?
Well,
Where like, because you leverage what we just saw in this issue
exactly.
of All New Venom,
Exactly.
right? Where you have that internal like space where you're face to face with the symbiote, you're having this conversation with them about all these things that have happened in the past, all these thoughts and emotions that you have going on in the present,
Yes.
and have had like do that back and forth with all these other hosts that these symbiotes have had.
But then what happens from that exact moment, because that's actually what I was thinking too, like Carnage talks to, you know, the symbiote, tries to team up, backstab. You have, maybe I just in the sense of how like I see it, maybe you don't have that direct conversation, or you have, to me, you focus on all the other hosts and you show that bond, but you never really show it from Venom's perspective. You always frame it like MJ's talking or Peter is talking. In that way, you see this subtle over time, like you get to see how torn the symbiote is getting. It's in the background, but that's what's happening. Then with what just happened here, we go up against Null. Carnage gets in his brain and is like, blah 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 blah. Like, what this? The Venom symbiote, to me, he just goes, fuck all of you, and he just hulks out. He Super Saiyans, like he fights Null. He just is like, stop telling me what to do. Like, I'm like MJ, you think you know me? That's not me. Like Flash, like you don't even remember me. Null, like who the fuck are you? I don't even know you. And that's what happens. And I don't know what happens after that, but Venom finally fights as Venom against Null. So it could be cool. I'm getting more on board about it than I was.
Might be cool. Be cool.
It absolutely might be cool. Oh no, he's behind everything. I didn't reset that
behind
right.
the panel.
Holy crap.
My worry is that if it's not Al Ewing writing that event,
I know.
What we just talked about is probably cooler than what is likely to happen.
Here's what I'll say is more worrying to me, because I do think Al will handle this and at least stay on to be like part of the writing team, sort of like the Ultimates has like Peach and Brian Hill and Jonathan and Dennis all working behind the scenes. I think he stays on for that. I would be worried about if they do a tie-in and they use that as opportunities to give newer writers like a shot, which is fine. Like that's good, but they often don't do like proper oversight. So that writer will say something or do something, and you're like, oh shit, it does not link up to everything anymore. Like now we are completely out of there. And you know, very rarely do we get, you know, crises or secret wars. Comics like to play the cards where they fall, so we would have to address that later on. And it's just like, I don't want to address
or we end up ignoring it, and then, you know, that's almost worse.
God. That
right? Where it's like you didn't pay attention, so you had an F up, and you decided we don't know how to rectify this, so we just have to ignore it and pretend like it didn't happen, and pretend like our readers are idiots and like they think it didn't happen.
Well, or go ahead and finish, and then I'll
that's what I had.
Because I was going to tell you, I don't know if you remember this, but the worst case of that to me in my comic reading history, it's from Marvel, and it actually comes from. Did you read the Spider-Man event? Like where he dies and he goes into the cocoon and then he like comes back out, and that's how they gave him organic web shooters.
Don't talk to me about that.
Okay, good. You at least know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so just absolutely terrible. Shit, where was I going with the other? Oh, so in the other, there is an issue where Peter is in the hospital and like he's dead, and MJ's by his bed and she's crying, and he pops back up to life, possessed by like the spider totem, and he's like all monstrous, and MJ like tries to like touch him like Peter, and he like reacts and breaks her arm, and he jumps out the window. Issue ends. Next issue, MJ is like running around completely fine, like she has nothing on her arm. She's like I think she even like punches at Peter to get away from him. A bunch of fans after that were like, what happened there? Like her arm fucking broke. And like instead of, you know, just going like, yeah, okay, we fucked that up. There's a scene in the next issue of that crossover where because this is when Peter's living with the New Avengers still, and Tony and Wolverine are talking, and Wolverine's like, have you seen MJ lately? Like, do you know how she's healing up? And Tony goes, oh, she's totally fine. I know you've been away with the X-Men, but I made her, a super Stark tech thing, like healing cast that accelerated her healing, and it's all good. Then, like, okay, that's fine, okay, dumb, but you addressed it. Let's move on.
It's lazy, but at least you addressed it.
What makes it worse is Wolverine and Tony say that. The next panel, they both look at the reader. Like, are you happy now? And then go back to the story. And I'm just like, you don't get to get pissed at us for your mistake. Like, you fucked that up.
I do. Oh my God.
And like, that is just,
that's like,
awful.
How are you getting angry at us for you not paying attention?
And then being like, oh, okay, here, fine. Have what you paid for a correct story. Here's your explanation, right? Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? They were Batman gunning it. He was like, oh, here's your explanation for your damn broken arm.
All right. Yeah.
But the other aside, and our theories aside, this is clearly ramping up. I do fear that this might be a case of us coming up with something that's way cooler. But
I hope that's not the case. I have a lot of faith in Al Ewing so far.
From this run especially, like, I kind of am like, you can kind of like we were with Gale, right? Where it's like, okay, like you have like, let's go. Let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
I like Null.
I love Null. I like Null as a villain a lot, and I hope that his return feels impactful
and not like Onslaught, where they said Onslaught's coming, and then they threw him into a mini series, and I'm still so mad at that. Like,
make this an event that feels like it matters. Here's a problem with, before we move on, a problem with modern mainstream comics right now is that they feel like they're constantly utilizing all of the interim, so in between crossover event periods, to just drive the next crossover event and build up towards that. But then it feels like it gets forgotten pretty quickly, and then they start building up towards the next crossover event.
Well, like they forget it, and also like nothing, kind of to what Clone Geek was saying at the top of the show about everything being very like temporary. Nothing really stays from any of these events. Like, we talk about Blood Hunt all the time, right? Blood Hunt, big event, goes over everything. What happened at the end of that? Miles is a vampire, and all vampires are no longer allergic to sunlight.
Yeah.
It took 3 issues of Miles' solo series after Blood Hunt to undo that.
Yep.
So literally it also made Doom
definitionally nothing matters.
Nothing matters. And like, yes, okay, Doom became Sorcerer Supreme, and that's where we are now, but like, what, like, who cares? It's kind of its own thing.
Also nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares about that. And like, the vampires aren't even, they got addressed once by Jason Aaron, where he said, Blade, you are now like the mayor and sheriff of the like Daywalker, or not Daywalker, but like all vampires live in this city now. Mm-hmm. You're their guy. That's it. We've never talked about them again. We've never heard from them. Like, yes. So I really hope I'm there with you. I really hope it's a good event. It's a big event, and it matters. Like actually matters. Even
have it have consequences, man. Like, have it have something lasting.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, at least here, Ebon War has proven to us that Al can follow through on all this stuff. He not somebody who just he doesn't just add things and let him go, right? Like, he pulled back MJ and Venom, like, which I was like so jazzed, like, I still, and again, the panel from the same like,
and and the fact that it was by Carlos Gomez,
by Carlos,
it's
like,
beautiful. I also so really love, and this is a fun dichotomy, because we always look at Venom, aside from when he's bonded with Flash, because with Flash he was a lot, and I guess Peter as well. Yeah. But neither of those we usually associate.
They're not
with
this skinny.
Venom, right? Yeah, like
this Venom is like a twig.
Huge. And I think this is deliberate. I think this is internally I think this is
Yeah.
introspective of how Venom sees himself when not bonded with the person he's supposed to be bonded with.
Yeah.
Right. Because when we think of Venom, and even when he's bonded with MJ, he's big. He's not
Yeah.
Eddie Venom
I mean,
big.
well,
But
he
he's
can
still
be
built like a brick house.
Right there. That's still, yeah, that's not Eddie
Right?
big. That's not
big.
rippling like he's not like
he's
Richards
still more
Venom
trimmed
in 6160,
right?
but
he's
still muscly.
He's still more trimmed around the waist, right? And all of that. But like when he's bonded with Venom, he's big, right? Like really big.
He's like
and
rippling.
I think that's I think what Al, because I'm sure that was a deliberate panel description there in terms of direction for Carlos as the artist.
Oh yeah.
I think what that's meant to be is that's meant to be commentary on how Venom sees himself when he's not whole, when he's not complete. He sees himself very small.
I didn't think about that.
Very demure, very.
He's taken, like, he's made up of Peter and Eddie and Tom and like Flash and MJ, so he's got the human form.
Yeah.
But he's like weak and like tiny and very, very, very. Whoa! I didn't connect that. That's all.
But when
I do think
when he's bonded with Venom, he's big.
He's whole,
strong.
Yeah.
He's whole. Exactly. He's complete. He can do stuff. Right. Whereas here, he looks frail. He looks like a frail person.
And the way
he looks like Peter did before Peter got bit by the spider.
Actually, that is actually a really good comparison. And I don't know if you noticed this, and I'm just putting it all together now. When Carlos is drawing this Venom, or like Venom in here, he's you like look at, like, there's a lot of like rippling from the symbiote. It's like lashing, it's like flipping, it's like it's alive, it's moving.
He's not like stable.
Exactly. That's what I was like. I just realized that, like, he's so weak, he's so stable, he doesn't know who he is. He's
I
it's
think
just
that's
going
all
all over
deliberate.
the place. I think you're right.
That's
awesome. And that if they go my route, like, it'll be a super version of this that like pops out and fights Null or whatever. Like maybe even just this guy, but with muscles. But then that wouldn't be cool because that's just all new Venom. So
yeah,
we'll let them.
I'm curious to see how that gets handled, because I don't think you get to dial back the whole gold thing and make it make sense.
I don't know how
because based on Ebon War, like that's literally, so in the way that Venom bonds with his host, that thing is now bonded with him. That's not part of him. That's not piecemeal, right? This isn't a la carte. You don't get to be like, I'm gonna bond with the Venom symbiote, but I just want to be the normal Venom symbiote. Without,
that's why he tossed out Dylan, remember? Because he's like, oh, I am gold. There's not even a name for it. Like, I'm gold Loki future metal old man Dylan weapon. If I bond with him, like, I will immediately like
it'll
destroy
kill him.
Yeah. So like unless the only way I want to see that
it would maybe take. Okay, so I just
Were you gonna say magic? Because I was gonna say magic.
Well, no, I didn't even. Not even that. I just figured out the out for that. If they decide that they don't want to keep the gold aesthetic and all of that, their out is Null. Their out is Null, in that maybe he can remove that. He can reverse that. And so maybe like when Venom, so I'm gonna take your scenario, where the Venom symbiote starts, like, he hulks out or whatever, he goes Super Saiyan, he starts facing Null on his own, irrespective of any host, right? And because he's not bonded to a host, he's not whole, he's not complete. Even though he's
that's right.
Then Null says, "Oh well, you're in a weakened state, even though you look like you big and bad," and he's able to rip out that gold bit.
That's okay. That's a cool one too. I forgot about even like that bit about him. Like, he's not whole when he's Super Saiyan. Like, that's fucking cool. I didn't even think about that.
I think that's their out.
It's either that, or it'll be something where like Venom tries to like throw that part of him, or he's like self-sacrifices and is like, well, I can take out Null. I'm anti-symbiote.
Tries to use it as a spear or as some sort of a weapon.
Or like tries to like just like cover Null in it, right? Or like bond into him and be like, haha, now it's in your DNA. I think he'll do that, and then Null will like turn gold, like his big dragon, and then he'll just go like wipe it off. Like, what the hell was that?
Like I'm Null. Who the hell are you?
Like what even was that? Like, it tickles maybe. Like that felt different, but and then it's gone forever. And then
Is this what you humans call a tickle? Right?
Yes. And then you throw that away. Okay, everybody, we resolve. Symbiotes are back to normal, back here on Earth. This gold symbiote magic thing is now floating around. We can do a lot with that. Maybe it goes cosmic. Maybe it comes back.
Different symbiote.
Yeah.
We can play with that.
It's like anti-er Venom.
Anti-er Venom.
Anti-er Venom. Yeah, more anti than you can handle. Also, like, just this shot of MJ here, like, it does unnatural things to me. Like, tall, confident, like, I don't know, man.
Carlos Gomez's MJ is like, interior wise, nobody does MJ better than Carlos Gomez.
Not right now. Not Chichetto, but that's a different MJ too, though. Like,
there's meant to be a bit of a different tone to MJ in Ultimate Spider-Man, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, covers. I'm always gonna give it to Jay Scott. It's like
Jay Scott, yeah.
Interiors, man, like,
it's definitely Carlos.
Nobody does it like Carlos.
To be fair, we haven't seen Pepe draw her because they won't let Pepe draw her because nothing good can ever happen in that book. But
Pepe isn't allowed to do cool stuff aside from a few cool fight scenes. Okay.
He gets to do his cool stuff in crappy things. So it's like, do you want to read Blood Hunt? No? Well, that's where Pepe's got some really fucking cool art. Like, he's actually really cool.
Amazing panels in there. And I only read that first issue.
I know you did.
Some of this art is incredible, but the story is ass.
It was so bad. It's so bad.
I don't care about anything that's happening
That reminds me. Hold on. Side note. Blood Hunt side note. That reminds me. AIPT Comics. They one of our favorite sites, probably my favorite like comic book news site, because they actually just do comic. They don't do stupid shit, and they're not Rich Johnston. But they Blood Hunt. Dick Dixon. Yes, excuse me. Blood Hunt just got collected in trade finally after. Well, not finally. It really was kind of just like last year. Like, it was like August. So a little slow, but it's finally. Oh no, that's what it was. It's in hardcover now. That's what it is. The trade came out. Hardcover.
Why did they put that in hardcover? Did it sell well enough to justify that?
No, like, they just did it because fuck it. Like, it's there. I have no idea what is going on with their like publishing, their printing, and their lines and everything. But
I hate it here.
Oh yeah, nobody likes being here. But AIPT Comics, they got their hands on a review copy, and they published the review earlier this week, and it was like Blood Hunt Volume 1 review, and it was like more blood than anybody is like asking for, and it was like very much, even they were like, what is the fucking point of this like book? Like, it was so dumb and bad.
It was a point. It was like, hey, we need some sort of a crossover event to potentially entice people to buy into books that they normally wouldn't because it's a tie-in. Let's do.
Like, why did you do vampires?
Does anybody have an idea? I don't know. Maybe do vampires taking over Earth 616. Cool, sold. Let's do it. Print it.
With like no thought to how we're gonna pull that out. Like,
no idea whatsoever.
It's vampire, and again, like, it's 2024. Vampires are not in right now. Like, they're an eternal thing, but they're not in right now. Like, they're very much
not
out.
Like, guys, like, give it a while. If they do some sort of a I hate to even say it because they're not real vampires. A Twilight reboot,
I know.
Or or more acceptable, like a reboot or continuation of like maybe Vampire Diaries or something like that. Like,
aren't they doing like a new True Blood? I think. I don't know.
I don't know. But I never paid attention to True Blood.
Me neither.
Personally, I know of it. I do know of it. But like there's nothing in the cultural zeitgeist outside of, what was it? The movie Sinners, which was very well received, but that's not like gonna cross over into like driving your vampire focused comic book event. Nobody's going to see that movie for the most part and be like are there any comic books right now dealing with vampires? Oh wow, Marvel has an event it's doing that.
No, but there's one person out there who's like and Sinners is good. I like Sinners. I've seen it.
I've heard it's fantastic.
Ryan Coogler is a good director. So don't take this as me denigrating him. But there's like one fan out there who's like, oh yeah, Black Panther director on fucking a Miles Morales book, and it's doing vampires. Like, oh my, like, it was like Just for him.
For that one person
just for that
on the
one
planet,
guy.
That's the sell, right?
That they've made one absolute like hardcover edition and they're selling it to that guy. But
they sent it to him for free.
They had to, because they fucked up the first print run, so they had to send that one to him for free.
Yeah, they forgot to put the text in the bubbles.
God, it's crucial text. Like, I need to know why Hank and Jan are there. Like, what is happening? But
why is Janet picking up Miles right now?
I still love that. Like, wait, you have text in the back of your book? Wait, what? Like, hold on. And our
I think that conversation happened live on air too, where we're like,
absolutely did.
Because we didn't really discuss it prior,
well,
other than like page 1.
And so I started like doing our run through, and then you were like, wait, what? How do you know that? And I'm like, because it's right here. And you're like, hold on.
I was like, I have a book right here.
So amazing.
More wild episodes.
That's I gotta go back and like clip that somehow. Like, that needs to be a video. But okay. All those tangents down. We return. MJ and Venom finally they've gotten to the end of their conversation. MJ's, a little cruel. Understandably, we can understand where she's coming from.
But I mean, she's coming from a place of emotion, and the fact of the matter is, when people are coming from a place of emotion, it's more often than not that they are highly more likely to be cruel.
Yes.
Like, you would look at somebody who is not coming from a place of emotion and acting in the same way, and you would call it vile, you would call it evil, you would call it mean-spirited, you would call it a whole bunch of things where it's like, wow, you're being a really like cruel
you're a
and
bitch.
unnecessarily
like,
mean person.
Yeah,
like you're kind of being a bitch here. Like what's up? You add context, and while it doesn't necessarily, being cruel to people isn't excused by your past experiences.
But we can understand where it's coming from.
Exactly. Your past experiences inform us of how you came to that conclusion.
Absolutely.
And why we can at least, that's where you end up having to be able to like be intellectually and emotionally honest and multitask and be like, I do it. And with this not being like freaking psych speak, where you're just like, oh, I see where you're coming from. No, where you actually see where that person's coming from. Like, oh, yeah.
And that's what makes,
this person showed up, in your home. You came home to this and it scared the absolute shit out of you.
This person showed up in your home without you asking, threatening your life.
Yeah.
And now they're like, hey, we're best friends, right? Like, yes, understandably, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here?
I'd be a little distressful.
Exactly.
Just a little distressful.
And to Ewing's credit, like, this drama where there's not a clear one side.
It feels like natural drama.
It's so good. Like, this is where you go, like, I can't just side with the symbiote, and I can't just side with MJ, but...
Because you understand both sides, because we've had all this history now of, like, spending time with Eddie growing as a character and being a better person, and obviously the Venom symbiote was a part of that.
And all that,
and the Venom symbiote also growing alongside of Flash and all of this, and we also understand the history with MJ. So it's conflicting and competing ideas.
Good.
That's good storytelling. That's proper drama.
Yes, this is not,
because you don't know whose side really to take. Because you're like, I understand this here, but I also understand this over here. And these two things are like diametrically opposed.
Yeah, you compare that to something like in Amazing Spider-Man, that conflict where like when Peter came home and Aunt May thought he was like on drugs or whatever. And, and like, sure, that would work normally, but the way it was presented, we can both go like, Peter, you're fucking dumb. Like, just tell her already. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then we can also go like, Aunt May, shut up. Like, I'm not invested in this because like Peter is objectively right here. Like, he's not going to give away his secret identity. So
that was one of those things.
It's just bleh.
It was something that I'm sure was intended to be like this. Oh, this is a super dramatic moment. It didn't come across that way at all.
It just came. It was like pathetic.
It was
kind
hollow.
of. Yeah, hollow is probably
super hollow.
Is really good. But what's not hollow is MJ or the Venom symbiote rather, because they rebond or they stay bonded. They agree to keep on keeping on. From there, they go to meet up with Flash, because they are they're all meeting up to kind of figure out like what do we do now, like what do we do with Scar and Dr. Octopus and all of this stuff. We do get that little bit that Andrew and I were talking about where MJ talks to the symbiote and she's like, well, you took so much from Eddie, what about Flash? Like, what do you think about, are you in love with him? And the symbiote goes like, Flash is a good friend, like to me anyways. And MJ gives us like, yeah, me as well, good friends. And it's like, oh, drama, like
tension.
Good, yeah, like
right?
good soap opera drama, like this rules.
And that's like, people forget, I think, and it's mostly people who don't read comics. And there are a lot of those.
Oh yes.
Like there's always been a lot of melodrama and just general drama in the Spider-Man comics. You know, and although this book is not Spider-Man, this book has been more Spider-Man than most
really kind of has been.
Which is one of the reasons
Secret
I think
identity,
why you and I have loved it so much.
Dealing with like, yeah, now that you're bringing that up, yeah, holy crap.
Where it's like, wow, this book is kind of filling a void where it feels more like a Spider-Man book than the 616 Spider-Man book has in a really long time.
Long time.
That kind of like drama where it's like, who's actually going to end up with who? Well, we're also scattering in all this action. We're having to juggle all these different things, all these plot threads. Like that's the Spider-Man book.
Spider-Man, yeah. Like,
and that's what this book is doing. The Amazing Spider-Man book is not doing that.
It's doing some things, but it's not doing this. This is clearly the winner in that category. But yes, from there we're I know we had a lot to say about Venom, but we're finally at the end of the issue. MJ's meeting up with Sleeper and Flash. You can see Flash is back in his anti-Venom suit. We flip the page. We say, what's going on? What's our next plan? Rick has decided to fully bond with Toxin. It gives him an appearance.
He has this kind of steampunk-ish.
Well, he's Bucky. It's his Bucky costume.
Oh.
Because remember, Rick was actual Bucky for like a hot minute before, like right after Cap came back out of the ice. He was Bucky for like a hot minute.
I don't know how I didn't put that together initially.
Yeah. So like I really like that. I'm like, oh, dude, that's a cool throwback. I like that, especially playing into like who are we inside of ourselves and everything. So
I love that even more now.
And we did kind of like joke about this, but Rick says it here, and I kind of like it the way it played out, and Ewing handled it. Like, if you guys remember, he was very hesitant to bond with Toxin. He's like, I don't know about this. Like, I'll work with him, but I don't want to bond. He ends up bonding with him, and he says, hey, I've never been a symbiote before. Why not add it to the list? Because as we were joking, like Rick has been everything. He's been a Hulk. He's been a mutant, a Captain America. Like he's been everything. So now he's a symbiote. So like Al played it the right way.
Super self-aware.
Yeah, but he didn't do it in the way
as the writer.
But he didn't do it in a way that's like, oh, get it? Like I'm always like it's very much like in character, but it's a little nudge.
It didn't come across as stupid, retarded Deadpool Mimi.
It did not.
It came across as just self-aware as a person.
Exactly, and it felt very Rick, right? Like, hey, why not? Like, all right, we're here. You guys need help? This is what I do. Like, all right, I'm Rick.
I'm curious to know though what he looks like.
I was just about to say this. I was just about to ask you this.
So here's going to be my guess.
Hold on. For you guys who don't know, in this costume, he wears the Bucky Domino mask. Like, that is what this outfit is. But we've never seen, like, symbiote hosts do not go any face showing, ever. Like, that's not a thing they do.
Full covering, sans sometimes. If they have long hair, you get the long hair, which... Yeah, sometimes. you and I are, opposed on in some instances and on the same level on others. Yeah. The way that I'm seeing this, and it was, why am I blanking right now? It's actually an available suit in the first Insomniac Spider-Man game, where
the Last Stand suit.
Yes, it's the Last Stand suit. I'm wondering if it's going to look like that, but have more of the symbiote eyes and the. You can't do the symbiotes without the teeth. You got to have the teeth. Okay.
I think they'll, for Rick. I think when it comes up, it'll whatever form it takes. I actually like that idea of being more symbiote, but like it'll be a full face cover. But I think it'll be flat like Peter and Flash, and there will be a moment when he like. Oh, it's Doc Ock, round 2. Like he lets it out.
So maybe by default, he has more of the symbiote eyes, but it's the flat mouth.
Yes, exactly.
Like Peter and like Flash. But like if he really goes like all hulked out or like all like, all right, now I'm about to
then he
freaking
goes
beat
like
your ass.
ultimate
Then we
Venom.
get
yeah.
then we get that moment where like, all right, now we see those symbiote teeth and all of that. Oh, I like that.
But I
really like that.
I think to make that even better, it would like that's an awesome scene. What would make it better is if Rick isn't like out of control. Like it's not the symbiote like kind of raging out of control. It's Rick sort of like inherently knowing like, oh, okay, time for this. Like blah, blah, blah. Like that's what I want to see. Like really
maybe
badly.
It's an inherent thing that he picked up after, even though Sleeper was like in the driver's seat through all those periods of time.
He's still moving your body, and we know that like Sleeper tells him, I've been doing this for months, so you're getting muscle memory. Maybe there's some
workout. Exactly. It's muscle memory. It's instinctive. It's like, all right, subconscious. I know how to do this, even if I don't like consciously know how to do this, because that happens all the time. That's actually a thing psychologically where we'll do something and we're like, how did I do that? How did I know how to do that?
Yeah.
Subconsciously, we know, but consciously, we're just not aware that we do know. And so that would be super interesting.
Check this. What if... Oh my God, my dogs are going crazy. But
they're losing their minds.
Yeah, but what if when Rick does that, like he's so intuitive because Toxin is so desperate for like to connect that they like over connected or like super connected like at the start, just like a really forced interface because Toxin like needed to come into Rick. There wasn't any time to like slowly bring myself in here.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. And be super interesting because at least canonically, I don't know if Marvel even remembers this.
I'm sure they do not.
But that's fair. But canonically speaking, at least from what we knew up through the early 2000s, Toxin should technically be stronger than Venom and Carnage.
Yes, he is technically, but right now he's got to get back to
super weak. He's holding on barely, right?
Well, there we go. I think
that makes me wonder. Yeah, that makes me wonder. Like, what are we potentially in for? Right?
We're in for them, like in the background, 100%ing, and then they go. They're the Super Saiyan fighter, like later on against Null or something.
It's like it's Mega Man Battle Network, like full synchro.
Yes. Oh, you've got me there. I'm done. However else you want to end this storyline, I'm there for it. But yes, that is where we ended All New Venom, guys. Paul's still on his way out. Dylan's being a teenager. MJ and the symbiote are finally addressing the tough questions, and they're not getting through it very well. Flash and Sleeper are ready to take the fight to Scar. We've got Rick finally getting a symbiote, and we are only, what did you say, like 2 issues away from Null coming back? So
no, next issue is Null.
Next.
It's next.
Oh shit! So this is like our build-up climax right here.
This issue is technically issue 249.
Oh, you're right.
Next is 250. Like I turned that page. That's why I sent you that message. I was
yeah.
I didn't realize Null was next issue.
I knew he was soon, but next issue. That's so. This is like the moment of Infinity. Like this is the end of Infinity War. Like now we're about to have our end game against. That's okay. Now I'm even more intrigued for next month because like. This better be a big issue. Like this better not be like a 20-page issue. I will shit my pants because like
this needs to be a thick issue with 3 C's, and this event. I'm talking like
needs to be a RIPPAVERSE release.
This for real. This needs to be a level up of like Emma in Fortnite, who is actually more comic book accurate. Emma,
I know,
but. To Marvel rivals, Emma.
it is time for that upgrade.
Right,
absolutely.
Like that's what we need this issue to be page count wise.
The issue like, page count and the MJ art from Gomez. Get on it.
Yes, exactly. Like you can't half-ass us on this when it comes to bringing back Null. Like this. If this issue doesn't feel like a big deal.
It's going to be
while
bad.
I'm reading it and closing it, I'm going to be genuinely physically angry. Don't hype me up like this for Null's
I know.
return.
I'm like, I don't even want to like talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. Like, I just need that book to come because otherwise, like, I'm just gonna get in the worst like spirals of like I know what's gonna happen. Like it's all gonna go bad. I need to shut up, and it needs to just get in on my desk, and I just need to read it.
Exactly.
But that's what we have for Venom. Do you have anything left on Venom?
I don't, man. This book's
all
great.
Right. It's so, guys, this is so good. Like, I'm gonna be recommending this book in trade to like everybody.
We haven't even gotten the first trade release, have we?
I know. I think they're gonna do all of it because it's only 12 issues. It's looking like, or what was this one? This was 10.
This was
so
issue 10,
11 maybe, 11, 12.
Oh wow! So you think they're just going to release it as one large hardcover? Because that after whatever this happens with Null,
it all depends with that.
Venom. Yeah.
It all depends on if MJ stays with Null, or if MJ stays with Venom after this. I think maybe we get like 2 trades, or they're going on a regular trade schedule. If we get, MJ and Venom go off into space to fight Null, and we have like Null War, then I think we're doing just one all new Venom collection. Because then it's like it's a easy sale. All the story is there. MJ Venom, rock it on. Like there you go,
dude. I can already see if they did just a 12 issue or whatever single hardcover. The dust jacket is black. Make it embossed in foil black, embossed the Venom
like the
smile,
and
the gold eyes. That's it. Done. There's your hardcover right there. Sold. I'll pay your stupid ass overpriced Marvel trade price for that.
But they won't do that.
They always charge way more than DC, which is wild.
I don't get it.
It's not like their paper quality is higher.
No, it's not. And it's honestly, I'd say there are more stories in recent years that I'd rather have read out of DC than I would have had like out of Marvel. So it's like you're not even at the top of your game right now. Like you did Blood Hunt. Chill out. Like charge us $10 for this trade paperback. We're not. You are not. Prestige quality here, guys. Like not right now, not in this moment. But all right, guys, I know we said that we were also going to cover Amazing Spider-Man. Turns out Andrew and I had just way more to say about Venom than we actually.
We had a lot more to say about all new Venom than we thought.
We knew it was going to be a focus, but I guess we didn't realize like how much we were going to like get into all of it, the philosophy, I think it was great. I think it was worth it. Throw up that conversation whenever you want. I think it's a solid standalone. But that all means we're gonna cut it. We'll not cut it early tonight. We're gonna save ASM for next week or whenever the next issue drops. We're already at we're at 3 hours here. Andrew does have another stream to get to, so we'll sign off here. It's been a pleasure, guys. Andrew, what do you want to let the people know about?
Well, I in about 55 minutes and am gonna be live with John's Long Box over on John's Long Box here on YouTube. The link will be either in the chat or in the description or wherever. We'll be talking general comics. We'll be talking RIPPAVERSE. We'll be talking indie comics. We'll be talking, I'm sure he'll ask me about my short story in RIPPAZine #5, Blue Shift Tryouts, and my character and all of that. So
I mean,
I'm looking forward to that.
It's the featured image. He better. All right.
I would be a little disappointed if he didn't. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm looking forward to it. He has had a lot of conversations, a lot of indie creators in the space. Including a great many that I respect, including my buddy Vaughn Coleman, whom I've shouted out on here a number of times. Yeah, exactly, Phenomenova. Which he's launching was it either the Indiegogo or the Fund My Comic campaign for that. I think he's launching
Kickstarter. The Fund My Comic I think is still open. Like you kind of just like buy from there, if you will.
yeah. That sounds about right. But yeah, super successful with the Kickstarter. In fact, it crossed at the bell. It crossed the $12,000 mark to allow it. So
that's awesome.
Every physical backer will get a free trading card.
That's awesome. He made it.
By
yes.
A fantastic artist too, by the way. So like that's super cool. Thank you everybody that supported that. I know I've shouted it out here on the show a couple of times. Thank you guys for supporting indie comics. But yeah, please check that out. Set your notifications for that. That'll be here in just shy of an hour. That gives me a little bit of rest time in between shows. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. It won't be a super long stream. I think John told me that it's going to be maybe an hour. So that's perfectly fine with me because that means I get to attempt to go to bed at a normal normal for me.
Normal for you, yeah.
But I love talking comics, as you guys may or may not have surmised by watching the show, as you guys do.
For this.
if only. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Coffee.
Thank you,
First
everybody.
up, coffee partnership.
Yes, coffee partnership for sure. I would love to get like so this is my goal. I would love to get a coffee partnership or sponsorship for Blue Shift that is a Blue Shift roast, and so it's got blueberry in it.
Ooh.
And it's because he's a speedster. It's got like extra espresso in the beans in the roast.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that.
Like that would be, I would be so happy if we could make that happen. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
Coffee drinkers, if that's something up your alley, let Andrew know over on Twitter, Dokuman Andrew, or just yell at Eric, like just harass him all week and be like, give us coffee.
I support bullying my boss. Okay, bully my boss to make stuff happen.
Right here. Take out your aggression and your demands on any African American next to you. That's what Andrew is endorsing. I support. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Take that. Look at that classic media spin. That's what I do.
Wow. I don't know if this is CNN or Fox News or MSNBC, but it's the mainstream media, that's for sure.
This is IGN Live, okay?
We're about worse.
I know. But yeah, guys, check out the stream in there. You see it right there, about 50 minutes. I'll be over there in the chat as well. As always, go check our links down below. We've RIPPAVERSE has Norfolka up. They've got Rippazine #5, Horseman. I know it's all in there. I was trying to.
We've also got the
I was like,
so we launched the. It's not an. So we launched the ill-advised collection of ISOM 1 through 3. So it's essentially like the trade of ISOM 1 through 3, except for like ISOM is each 100 pages plus already on its own for individual issues. So this is a large trade collect edition. It's going to be over 300 pages. So get your money's worth with that. It's going to be a great way to experience the entire first arc of our flagship character with completely new colors. So we remastered the colors on that to make it kind of all consistent, because is an amazing a job as Gabe Al-Taib did on ISOM 1 and 2. He moved on because he's doing his own publishing company, his own comic books. And we were like, it feels weird to have the colors be inconsistent between 1 and 2 and then 3. So we're like, all right, Sebastian Chang, who's a phenomenal colorist, by the way.
Roll in here and do the rest of it.
He colored this run of Batman and Beyond. So he is not some chump. This is an amazing colorist. He absolutely has his chops. We had him remaster the colors on ISOM 1 and 2, and he's obviously the colorist on 3. So get that. There's a soft cover and a hard cover available. Great value for over 300. It's something close to 300. Okay, I'm trying to think here. It's like, was it 96 pages plus 112 pages plus 140 pages or something like that? I'm not our bean counter. I don't do the math.
You guys didn't even list it. Boo!
Did we not?
I'm not. 144 explosive pages that will redefine. Oh, well, that's just ill-advised 3. That's just ill-advised 3.
Yeah, that's just part 3.
No, I don't see it up here. But
I'm not gonna do the math because I don't math.
Oh, there it is. 352. There it is.
That sounds
I
right.
had to go to the product page. There we go.
There we go. Over 350 pages, guys, of story. It's the first arc of our flagship character. There's a lot of build up to it. It ended up spectacularly. Check it out. This is the best way to experience the story because it's all in one hit. Thank you for everybody that's supported all the stuff that we've got ongoing. Horseman #2 is doing fantastic. It's about to cross over 100K. Rippazine #5, which features my short story,
blowing it out of the water,
is really close to 50K. And when we hit 50K, and I've said this on Twitter, but I haven't said this on a live stream, I will reveal part of the Andrew sketch for my character. And if we hit 100, that's a steep ask, but it's not impossible.
It's not.
It's still something that's actually reachable. I'm not going to put out a number there that's impossible to hit. I will reveal the whole thing. All right, I will show off the entire Andrew sketch of what my character like
blurring it like
exactly. Thank you everybody that's supported. Oh, we crossed 45. Wow, 45 exactly at least on there.
Dot.
That's amazing. So 5K away. That pre-order collection closes on, I believe, on the 26th of this month. I've got a couple of interviews. Obviously, John's Long Box here in about 45 minutes on YouTube. Next, I think it's next Friday on the 12th, I'll be live with Comics Dad on his channel.
Oh, nice.
And then the following week, I believe, I don't know if it'll air that day, but I have an interview with Icon Presents, he's interviewed Chad Larson for Death Shroud. He interviewed Caro for RIPPAVERSE Stuff and Dirty Deeds. He's interviewed a number of creators in this space. He's a super cool guy, super nice guy. So be sure to check that out. Thank you for everybody who hung out with us tonight. Make sure you check out. Are you doing Good Mav Ugly tomorrow?
Yep, we'll be doing Good Mav Ugly. Come hang out with me. Cool. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about, but if you want
you'll figure
some
positivity,
out. Hey,
you can at least throw in some Marvel Rivals content. They announced season 4.
No, God,
right? Daredevil and Angela. Right?
An Invisible Woman swimsuit. That's right. There we go. I know what I'm talking about tomorrow. But yeah, guys.
Invisible Woman swimsuit. There it is. There's the show. There's your thumbnail.
That's the show. There's the thumbnail, the show. I'm just going to have that picture
buddy.
up. Yeah, exactly. That's everything tomorrow. I'm gonna go make a VTuber avatar of that for it to be on stream. But yeah, guys,
amazing.
Check out all the stuff, boundingintocomics.com. Go sub to Andrew, go sub to me. Go over to John's Long Box in a minute to hang out with Andrew some more. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more intellectually honest comic book talk. Finally get to Amazing Spider-Man. And yeah, until then, until then, take it easy. That's all I've got.
God bless and Godspeed.
Man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics.
How's your comic book collection, Brody?
Oh, it's going good, but I've been...